Hello, ladies and gents. This is Kaci Campbell, and you're listening to It's Tempting. You better buckle up.
Okay.
That is
amazing.
My most honest thing I can tell you.
Okay.
I'm going to go ahead and just give you guys a good clap here. Make sure that way it gets synced up. If you guys need anything else, my name is Abraham. Just let me know. I'll be right outside. If not, me, my man Blondell. Have fun.
Perfect.
Thank you.
Okay. How do I want to sit? No, hate that. Okie doke. So let's start. So 3, 2, 1. Hello, everyone. We're back. It's tempting, but it's just me now, Kaci Campbell. So thank you, everyone, for the continued support. I love you all. We have a guest in today, and we have a story to tell. So
Yes, we do.
Yes, we do. Iris Jardiel, welcome to It's Tempting.
Thank you so much for having me.
You're my first guest on It's Tempting with just me. I'm so happy you're here.
I feel
And
so honored.
I'm honored because you have a pretty big story to tell, and I've heard about it for the last few months, and we've been keeping it very much on the down low. But I think we should just drop the bomb, and then we're going to dive in.
Sounds good.
So, Iris, you are not only no longer engaged to Luke, you haven't been together for a while.
That's correct.
And you did a lot of shady shit, including
Yes.
cheating,
Yes.
and you have a new man.
I do.
So, let's dive into this because I think a lot of people are going to be really, really surprised.
Yeah.
Because you and Luke were like the happily ever after on season 4. You guys got engaged on television, and everyone really thought you guys had like the Prince Charming Cinderella situation, and it just was not that. So
I wouldn't say everyone thought that, but we did have a lot of support.
Yeah.
There was also a lot of like flack.
okay, so let's go back to the beginning. Because I will die on this hill. I truly, truly believe that you're not really in love if you decide to go on Temptation Island.
Honestly, I have to agree with that.
Thank you. Yes. Okay, because your new man, which we'll talk about him later, would you go on Temptation Island with your new man?
Absolutely not.
Thank you. Okay, I'm glad we're on the same page because when people tell me that they're in love and they're going on TI, I'm just like, you're in denial. Like, you're just not accepting it yet. So take me back before TI. How did you and Luke meet? You guys were together 5 years?
Yes, actually 6 years when we ended.
Okay. So, yeah, you guys were together a long time. So how did you meet? What was going on up before TI? Let's start there.
Yeah, so Luke and I met when we were 19 years old.
Okay.
It was like that young, like college stage of life where like I fully didn't realize like what was actual love yet.
Yeah.
But
Oh,
he was like,
baby.
it was like love at first sight for me. So I found him on Facebook. We had a bunch of mutual friends. We kind of went to like rival high schools that were close together.
This sounds so similar. Wait, pause really quick.
Do you and Evan?
Yes. Okay. So, you guys, so just so you know how like Iris came on to my podcast, like how this all came out, I want to kind of go back really quick before we get into your story. Sorry,
Yeah.
we're getting a little off track. So
Totally fine.
Iris and I, this is our first time meeting in person.
It is.
It is, which is
Yes.
crazy because I feel like I know you.
We've talked so much on
Yes.
the phone and we've like texted and like
Yes,
DM'd so
yes.
much. Yeah.
So that's what I wanted to say. So when I watched season 4 for the first time, I immediately was not a Luke fan. And it was to the point where I was giving him so much shit on this podcast that I almost felt bad because me and you like were DMing and I loved you and I was like, this is your boyfriend, and you ended up getting engaged to him, and I'm talking like mad shit about Luke, okay?
You're fine.
And the reason why though, because Aaron loved him. Aaron was like a
Yeah.
big fan of Luke, and I was like, no, I'm so observant, and I was seeing all the red flags, like, especially in confessionals, the way that he talked in confessionals,
Okay, the
and
big
his eyes.
The eyes.
Evan and him
I
have the
saw
same
the exact
eyeballs.
same thing, and I was like, "Where is this coming
Yes.
from?" Like when me and Luke were together, that was not him.
Yeah.
And all of a sudden, he was showing this different personality that I'd never seen before,
Yep.
and I was like, "Is he acting?
Yep.
Why is it not genuine?"
Yep.
Yeah.
So when I saw that, it like almost triggered me because it was so familiar. And unless you've been in a relationship with someone like that, you wouldn't recognize it, you know? So
Yeah.
I recognized it freaking immediately. And I was like, there's red flags everywhere.
And I think so many people like fans of the show compared the two.
They did.
In the beginning of the season.
Yeah.
They're like, Luke looks like the new Evan.
Yep.
Like, they have the same, like, what they call crazy eyes.
Yep, 100%. So that was kind of my experience with it. And then you guys got engaged, and I was like, okay, like, maybe I was wrong. I'm not wrong a lot. I was like, maybe I was wrong. And then when did you called me a year ago, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so you actually texted me or DM'd me, asked for my number. You're like, hey, can we talk? And at first I was like a little concerned because I was like, what's going on? But I was like, yeah, of course. Like, we can definitely talk. And I didn't know what you were going to call me about. So we scheduled a call. And we talked, I think, correct me if I'm wrong, we talked for like 2 hours, right?
We did.
Yeah.
It was a long time.
Yeah, we talked for 2 hours, you guys, and this was a year ago. And Iris was opening up to me about basically everything. Just also, side note, I need to put this disclaimer. We're going to talk about a lot of like mental health stuff, cheating, lots of stuff. So just trigger warning for that. I'm not a doctor. Iris is not a doctor. We're not diagnosing anyone. This is based on our personal experience and our truth. So I just need to say that to put that out there. But you called me because I had an experience with a narcissist, someone that has a lot of issues, mental health issues, and you wanted advice. And I think for like the first hour, I just really heard you out and let you talk. I wanted to know everything. And then I asked you, I was like, can I be brutally honest with you? And I think I told you, I was like, if you were my best friend, my daughter, someone close in my inner circle, I would tell you to run for the hills. Like, you can't wait around for this guy. Like, it's going to be sad, but like, it's just, you're putting your life on hold for something that's not meant to be. And
and I appreciated that advice so much because when you told me about your relationship with Evan, there were so many similarities when it came to like toxicity and the gaslighting and some narcissism. Yes.
Yeah. So I told you straight up, I was like, you have a choice to make. It's like, are you going to be stuck in this like I was for a decade, or are you going to get out now when you're still young and able to find someone else and like really rebuild your life?
We hadn't walked down the aisle yet. Like,
Yeah.
it was not too late.
That's what I told you. I was like, you don't want to marry this guy. You don't want to have kids with this guy. And that's how the conversation kind of ended. And you appreciated my advice, but I think you were still just not 100% ready to fully walk away yet. Yeah. That was a year ago. So then a few months ago, you reached out to me again. And we talked again, I think it was like an hour and a half. And you spilled everything that we're going to talk about today.
Yes.
And that's what we're about to get into. So I
feel like you didn't even see it coming.
No, because I thought like, okay, like maybe like you guys.
We just went to Thailand.
Yeah, I was like, you guys worked it out. I'm thinking you guys like went to therapy. I was like, maybe I'm wrong. You know, maybe this is the exception of the rule. So yeah, and then also shout out to the showrunner of TI. You reached out to her, Trifari.
Yes, Trifari is amazing.
Yeah,
Love
she's
her.
amazing, and she told you that you should go on my podcast because we have gone through very similar situation. We were with very similar guys. So that is the whole background story.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
Okay, so now that we have told everyone how this all came about, let's dive into you and Luke. So you guys met when you were 19, which is crazy because that's the age me and Evan were when we met when we were 19 too. Yeah, crazy.
Oh yeah, because like you dated him all of your 20s, right?
Yep.
Oh my gosh.
So same thing. So you met when you were 19, college sweethearts, and you was kind of like love at first sight.
So we weren't really college sweethearts. So I had a boyfriend at the time, but we met when we were 19. Actually, this is before I had a boyfriend. So we met when we were 19. I sent him a message on Facebook. I looked through all of his photos. He seemed so well-rounded because he had like all these pictures playing golf, skateboarding. Yeah. Like he took landscape photos that were super beautiful. Yeah. And I was like,
he's very creative and talented.
Yeah. And he didn't come off like douchey or like self-centered anyway. Yeah. So I was like, there's potential here. Like, I think he's really cute. Like, he's into a lot of cool activities. There's potential here. So I sent him a message on Facebook because Instagram wasn't like popping at the time. It was like all about Facebook. And I was like, I know, right? That's how you know that was a long time ago.
Yeah, literally. That was like a minute ago, man. I don't even check my Facebook anymore, but yeah, relatable.
Right? So I sent him a message and I was like, hey, I might be going to Wazoo next year, Washington State University.
Okay.
And I was wondering like how your experience at Washington State University has been because I'm really thinking about going here to like finish up my degree. Mm-hmm. And he like messaged me back right away. He's like, I'd love to show you around campus, all this stuff. I didn't end up going there, but like we stayed like online friends for a good amount of time. And then by the time he graduated, he didn't know what to do with his life, whether he wanted to dive into a career or like get a job for a year and figure out what he wanted to do. So I was like, hey, come work with me at this restaurant. It was called Joey's.
Okay.
And it was like this kind of classy Hooters restaurant.
Oh my gosh. So you guys worked together?
We worked together, yeah.
Wow. I didn't know that.
Yes.
Okay. See, I love getting the background. Okay. So cute.
We were both like front of the house. Like,
okay.
It was such a fun job. But we like became best friends there and it was awesome. And like by that time I had a boyfriend.
Okay.
So basically, like we were hanging out after work all the time. It was really awesome. And then like we vibed so well. By the time like me and my boyfriend ended, like we got together.
Okay. So it was like a natural progression. You guys started out as friends and then it turned into something more, which honestly, like, I mean, we know how things end, but that is kind of the way that you want to start.
Exactly. So, like it was really cute. And
Aww.
like he really did feel like my best friend because like we'd been friends for years.
I love that. So that was before TI. So how many years before TI when you made it official?
We became official like after me and my boyfriend ended, like we started getting to know each other, hanging out, and I think it took us maybe like 4 months to become official.
Okay, so you were together for like almost 5 years before TI.
Yes.
Okay, so now you guys are together. What is it like? How is Luke as a boyfriend before TI? And what led to the decision of you wanting to go on to TI?
Yeah, we were like straight homies. It felt so comfortable. It was awesome, but there were so many red flags, girl. Like
red flags.
When I tell you, like all these red flags, like I would never want my daughter to be treated this way.
Yeah.
You know?
So quick question, because like, yeah, we're just going to get brutally honest through this whole episode. So when you like, because people ask me, they're like, how did you not see the red flags? And I'm like, now looking back, I definitely felt them. I would have these like little gut feelings. It was almost like and I'd be like, something is really off. But then I would convince myself, I'd be like, no, like it's just your anxiety. Like, no, like you're overthinking it. Did you have those little like gut instincts throughout?
Absolutely.
Okay, that's what I thought.
And like when I tell you like the things he did like leading into our relationship, like it makes no sense as like why I would date him.
Yeah.
But like we were young at the time. And we were still growing.
Yes.
And he'd never had a serious girlfriend before. So I didn't want to just like cut him out.
Yeah.
I was like, there's potential here. There's room to grow.
Yeah.
I can teach him these things. It's going to be okay.
Yeah, and I think you and I really relate on that because we both are very like empathetic and we're like we're like ride or dies. So when we like really like when we really love someone and we're all in, it's like we fight for them and we fight for the relationship. So it's like anyone can be like, oh, like why did you stick around? But it's like when you really love someone and care for someone, especially when you guys were best friends first, and I hate to say this, when someone has like mental health issues and deals with like mental illness, it's like very hard to like leave them in the dust. You want to like be there for them and be their rock. So I get it. And anyone that doesn't get it, I mean, you're lucky you've never been in that experience before because it's really heartbreaking.
Yeah, it is. But a great learning lesson.
Great learning lesson. Made us who we are today.
I love to just like be like, it was a learning lesson at the end of
literally.
The day.
Yeah.
Yes.
I think both of us wouldn't be who we are today if we didn't deal with that, you know?
Exactly.
And we're obviously strong because not everyone can be in these type of situations and like come out okay.
Yeah.
You know, and better, you know?
Yeah.
Okay, so there was a lot of red flags. What kind of red flags?
So I remember when like we were hanging out, and we were official already. Mm-hmm. He still wouldn't walk me to my car at night.
Oh, girl. See, that's even
when it's dark out and it's like, I want to feel safe. He was not walking me to my car at night. And
that's like worse than the sidewalk rule. Do you know what the sidewalk rule is?
Oh, he didn't know that either.
Stop. That's like one of my biggest things.
The guy's supposed to walk next to the street and he keeps his girlfriend inside. Yes. I had to teach him that. And that was like an easy fix. But the walking to my car at night thing was like hard for him to comprehend. He like argued against it with me.
What?
Yeah. He'd be like, you're totally safe. It's a safe neighborhood. Like, you're fine. I'd be like,
yeah, like, no.
That's not what a gentleman does. That's not what someone who cares about someone does. Even if I was just a friend that's a girl.
Yeah, no.
Like, you should want to just walk me to my car at night.
Make sure that you get there safe.
Exactly.
Oh,
and
Lord.
like, I had to really grill it in him to like, hey, you need to walk me my car at night. You need to walk like your sister to her car at night.
Yeah.
Just like even your girlfriends.
The basics.
They're just friends. Yeah, exactly.
The freaking bare ass minimum.
And I remember complaining like to like one of my close girlfriends at work about this, being like, is this like a thing? Like, is this normal that like I have to like teach him this? And she's like, absolutely not.
Absolutely not.
Yeah.
Absolutely not. No, that's like bare minimum. Like, so ladies, gents, bare minimum behavior right there. Like, sidewalk rule number 1, opening the door, pulling out the chair. I mean, I'm a little traditional, but like, yeah, like, no, bare minimum. He should not, and definitely not argue with you about like going to your car. Like, that's crazy.
Right?
Yes. So I
should have known. Like,
I should have known.
That was such a simple like red flag. But like,
you wouldn't be here today. You would have never gone in TI. You would have never met Ryan. And yeah, so everything happens for a reason.
Exactly.
So any other red flags?
Yes. So while like we became official, I think like a month or 2 in, he broke his leg skateboarding.
Okay, wow.
And so he was out of commission, like not working.
Okay.
For like 2 months.
Okay.
And so when he was out of his job, like he had to tell them like, I can't work. I'm so sorry. Like I can't walk.
Yeah.
He was like stuck at home in bed, and he was like, how do I make money if I can't show up to a job? And he like found this business model, Amazon FBA.
Okay.
Like he's still doing it to this day.
Yeah. I've seen that on Instagram.
Yeah. Okay. So he like figured that out and was like, I want to do this. Like, what do you think, Iris? And I was like, absolutely. Like, I support whatever you want to do. I really think like you can take this to the next level.
Yeah.
And like, I'm here to support you through that. Like, whatever you need.
Ride or die.
Yeah.
Ride or die.
And even his dad was like, I did not put you through college for you to like go completely do something else that like probably won't be successful.
Yeah.
And I was like, hey, I believe in you. Like, you can do this. And like, if you need me to like help support us through that, like I can, because I know it takes capital to.
So you were supporting him.
So I was like,
girl, our stories are so similar. We've talked all this time. Even now that I'm hearing it, it's so similar. Holy shit. Okay, continue.
It is similar. So like, he was living at home at the time. It wasn't like I was paying our rent or anything. Where he was like living with me. But like, if we went out to eat, I was covering our meals.
Okay, so as a side note, on TI, when we found out that you have to like Venmo him for a McDonald's.
Exactly. No, that is why like all the guys in my house were just like
what the hell? It's like McDonald's. It's like
they're like, you're like
$6 to $10.
5 years in,
yeah,
and like he's still making you split checks.
Yeah,
like
it's
that.
insane.
Yeah, I don't know. I just wanted to believe so bad that it could work and he could change. You know,
it's relatable. So many people have been through that.
That's why I took it so hard. Was like, because in the beginning stages of our relationship, I was the one covering my meal and his meal, and I would drive us around in my car all the time. And at first, I was like, "Oh, his leg's broken. He can't drive. That's fine." Yeah. But then it turned into like a more regular thing. Yeah. Where we were always taking my car. I didn't expect any gas money from him. And I never asked him for gas money, and like
he just started taking advantage of it.
Yeah, that was just like our normal.
Oh Lord. Lord. Okay, so any other red flags? Because I don't want to just like, we're not going to just shit on Luke the whole time, because we want to talk about.
And I don't want to just like come on here to say like, oh, how horrible he is.
Yeah.
Like, we did have a lot of good times in our relationship.
That's what I was going to bring up, because you guys were together a long time. And even I've talked about it with my past relationship. The thing that really kept us together is we were best friends. Yeah. You know,
like, he was my rock. Yeah. Like, I could tell him anything. I felt like myself around him. Yeah. And like, I was also like his second home. Yeah. Because like he kind of had like some family issues. Yeah. And like, I was like the person that he could go to feel safe.
And so that's what really kept you guys together for so long through all of this, is like that bond that you guys shared. So it's
exactly.
You know, because I think that's why a lot of people, they have a hard time understanding, again, why people stay in these type of relationships, because it's like, if it was really that bad, like, why the hell are you staying? Well, number one, like, unless you've experienced being gaslit and manipulated, you really don't understand the like psychological control someone has over you. Number one.
Yes.
Number two, it's not all bad. Like
it's not.
These type of relationships, it's like the highs are crazy
so
high and the lows are so low, but those high highs is what keeps you in it.
Yeah, it's like a drug.
It's literally you're addicted to it because
Yes.
it's just like the highs are just like the best highs you can imagine, but then it's
the
like
lows are like
the
calm
lows
down.
are the lowest that you can imagine. So that's
Yes.
so I really wanted to touch on that. It's like, no, it's not all bad. Like you guys were best friends. You had a legitimate bond and you guys were each other's like home. And that was the same thing in my past relationship. And I think that's why we stuck in it as long as we did.
Yeah.
Right?
That was me and Luke.
Yeah.
Literally.
Yeah, that's what I definitely wanted to talk about that. So there was a lot of red flags.
Yeah.
You guys were together a while. How did you guys decide to go on Temptation Island? Talk to me about the toxicity that led you guys in to deciding to go on Temptation Island, which we've already discussed. If you are really in love and you are really with your person, you're not going there. You're not going on there. Like I will die on that hill. People get offended when I say it, like new cast members. I'm like, dude, I'm sorry. It's just facts. Like I'm just speaking the truth.
Yeah.
You haven't let yourself accept it yet, you know?
Yeah. I mean, there's always like a miracle, like for some couples. Like
yeah,
Kristen
there's
Julian,
Kristen and Julian are the
very
0.01%. Like they're the magic. Like they are in love. They're healthy.
Married now.
Yeah,
Yes.
but that is like the exception of the rule. That's not. No, most people that decide to go on that show, like you don't really love your person because I feel like when you're really in love, it's your natural instinct to protect that person and to protect your relationship.
Yeah.
And bringing them on TI is the exact opposite of that. You're putting them in danger to be extremely hurt in front of the world.
Too,
it's toxic as
like,
fuck.
I want to test my partner and see if they cheat on me so that I know that they're the one.
Yeah, it's so toxic.
Yeah, it's very toxic.
Yes. Okay. So glad we're on the same page with that.
Yeah.
So let's talk about what led you guys into TI. How did you guys get reached out to? How did that all happen?
So a recruiter from the show, either recruiter or producer, they reached out to us on Instagram.
So you guys, God, see, most people try out, and I don't know a lot of other people that got reached out to through Instagram the way I did. So, girl, me and you, we're on the same wavelength.
Yes, it's so funny.
I love it.
Yeah, they reached out to us on Instagram. They were like, hey, you guys are super adorable. We'd love to have you interview for this show. Like, this is the name of it. This is, like, the process. And we were like, oh, cool. Like,
yeah,
this sounds like an awesome opportunity. Obviously, it's, like, free vacation. Everything's paid for. You're in, like, a beautiful island. And we were like, oh, this is, like, also a great way for us to, like, test our relationship. I feel like we'll pass with flying colors.
Yeah, that's what everybody thinks.
Yeah, I was like, this shouldn't be hard at all. Like, we got this. And so, like, we watched through all the seasons.
I was just going to ask you if you watched it before you went
did.
on. Well, how did that, like, once you watched the show, were you guys still confident or were you like, holy shit?
I was like, holy shit.
I was going to say, holy shit, right?
I was like, I have some cold feet. Like,
yeah.
I feel like I could do great, but, like, I know that they could manipulate things maybe a certain way. Like, from what I've heard of reality TV, like, I'm not too sure. But then at the end of the day, we're like, we got this.
Yeah.
Like, we're solid.
Yeah.
Like, this shouldn't be hard at all. And, like, we studied the show just a little bit. We were like, okay, like, yeah, like, make sure you don't do that. Or, like, 100%. Make sure, like, you watch what you say here. But it's so different when you're on that island.
I was just gonna say that it's one thing to watch the show and you like, because me and Evan, we had like a game plan and like I thought same thing, but once you're in the show and on it, you're like, okay, this is a different ball game. Like you can't prepare yourself. Like, and honestly, unless you're a couple on that show, I don't even think singles really understand like how traumatic that show is.
It's so traumatic.
Yeah, unless you're a couple, and I'm not trying to like downplay because like singles do go through some shit too, but it is not on the same level as the couples at all. Like,
and like even I didn't go through like anything insane like on the show, but like still, it was really hard.
It's like it's a mind fuck.
It's mental torture when you're there. You're like sitting in your room waiting for your bonfire. Yeah, and you're like, oh my God, I'm going to see the worst.
Yeah. It's like mental warfare for like 30 days straight.
Yeah.
Like 100%. You have to be so mentally strong to be a couple on that show.
Exactly.
So you get on the show. Let's talk about how you felt, how you looked and your behavior, and how he looked and his behavior.
So I feel like my experience was completely portrayed the way it was.
So you feel like it was accurate, like nothing was manipulated. I love that. See, that's what I tell people, because a lot of times when people are edited bad or they're a villain, they're like, oh, it's like editing. And it's like, okay, I hear that, because they definitely made it look like I was just like heartbroken and crying the whole time, when in reality, like, yeah, that was definitely part of it, 100%. However, there were also days where, like, I'm the only girl playing flag football with all the guys, and I'm playing poker, and I'm laughing, and I'm rapping in front of the guys, and, like, doing impressions, like, having the time of my life. All that shit got edited out. But at the same time,
have a story to tell.
That's the thing. It's like, at the end of the day, I know what I signed up for, you know? Like, I read my contract. That was a true story. So I'm not going to, like, bitch about how I got edited. And same thing with, like, villains. It's like, they can only put what like the words that actually come out of your mouth, the actions that actually happen. So if you get edited that way, you gave them that content.
Yeah, you're literally giving them like the ammo to use against you.
100%.
So it takes a lot of self-awareness to be able to be like, oh, I probably shouldn't do that.
Exactly.
Or say that.
Yeah.
Yes.
So you, though, you feel like yours was very accurate.
Yes.
I love that. I thought so too.
Like for me, it just wasn't hard.
Yeah.
To not cheat on my partner.
Same.
Like,
I've never cheated on anyone before. Have you?
I love Luke so much. No, I haven't.
Yeah, I love that.
Like, I loved Luke so much that I was like, I don't want to cheat.
Yeah.
Like, I don't want to, like, entertain any guys here. I don't want to, like, sexually flirt with any guys here, because, like, that would be disrespecting Luke, and I never want to disrespect Luke.
Yeah. And when you're really in love with someone and they're supposed to be, like, your life partner and your best friend, it's like cheating on them or hurting them is, like, it should devastate you. It should
hurts my soul.
Yeah, it should hurt you to do that. Like, and that's why some of these people that go on the show, I'm just like, you just literally don't give a fuck.
Yeah.
Like 100%.
Yes.
So you liked how you were edited, and you felt it was accurate.
It was accurate, like,
because you were great.
Yeah.
I agree. I mean, when I'm gonna be honest,
and I still had so much fun.
Yeah.
Like,
no, you did. You like had a great time. There were times where you were drunk. There were times where you were like dancing.
Yeah. And like, I still don't want to cheat.
Yeah. I loved it. Did you have like any connections with any of the guys? Like, did you feel tempted at all?
So, like, in the beginning of my journey, like, they showed, like, me and George were, like, talking a lot, and, like, we had an emotional connection. They didn't air, like, all the conversations we had, but we had some deep talks.
Okay.
And it was all, like, super, like, profound. Like, he was so sweet to me. I'll dive more into that later, though. But
okay.
But, like, it just didn't end up working out.
Okay.
And that's fine. Like, he was a gentleman.
Yeah. I thought he treated you really well on the show.
Yeah. It was funny how, like, we had somewhat of a connection because we hadn't even talked. Like, when I asked him on the first date, he literally just, like, saved me a plate of food in the oven.
Aww.
Because everyone, like, ate all the food, and I was, like doing an interview, like, in one of the rooms.
And he thought of you.
Yeah. No, and he just, like, got all the dishes, like, put them on a plate, put them in the oven, and I came upstairs and I was like, oh, like, everyone ate dinner already? There's no more food? And then someone was like, hey, George saved you a plate in the oven.
Yeah, see, I would like that too.
And I was like, shut up.
Yeah,
like, and I'm like, a foodie.
Especially also when you're used to being with someone that won't even walk you to your car at night. Yes. So you're probably like, holy shit. Yeah, I would have been blown away too by that.
And that's why, like, there's no scenes of me and George prior to, like, me asking him on a first date.
Yeah.
Like, they had nothing.
Yeah, because it was just that one little thing.
Yeah, and I was like, wow, that is really sweet. I'm going to ask him on the first date.
Oh, I love that.
Yeah.
So you and George had an emotional connection, and then you actually ended up sending him home, right?
No, we didn't send him home, but
you stopped going on dates with him.
I did friend zone him.
Yeah.
But he was like so sweet about it. Like we still like got along well after. Yeah, like we were cool.
Okay. Who all did you go on dates with again? I forgot.
So I went on 2 dates with George, 1 date with Mikey.
Okay.
They didn't really air that.
Yeah, I was gonna say I don't.
We're
remember.
homies though. Like to this day.
Good.
He's
Love
awesome.
That.
James was my next date.
Okay.
James is also my homie. Love James.
I
He's
love
awesome.
how you're just friends with all the guys. I love it. It's the best.
It's great because like also I feel like we respect each other.
Yeah, 100%. Like you're definitely the type of girl that guys respect. 100%.
Thank you.
No,
you too.
Thank you. I appreciate it. I feel like you and we have a lot in common, and I love it.
Yes.
So James and then Deke showed up.
He was the last 2 dates.
the last 2 dates. So after he showed up that night with the bow tie and champagne and you jumped on him.
Oh my God. I was blacked out. Okay.
I could tell you were really drunk. Plus, honestly, let's keep it real. I feel like any girl, if like Deke showed up, you would fangirl. Like, you know?
He's so funny.
He's so funny and
I wasn't
he's cute.
like fangirling over him in like the way that
they made it seem.
Like I want to hook up with him.
It was just like he's freaking hilarious.
Yeah,
and you
like,
followed
he's
him.
So funny.
Yeah.
And, like I admire that so much.
Yeah.
And like this is awesome that he's here right now.
I love it.
But production did know that because they asked us like in our
they knew
social media interview
that you follow him and stuff.
Yeah, they asked us literally, out of all the singles from past seasons, like who do you vibe with the most?
And you said Deke.
And I was like, Deke. And they were like, why? And I was like, he's so hilarious.
Yeah.
Like, it's awesome.
Yeah. He's like effortlessly funny, and there's not a lot of people that are like that. So I get it. And plus you were blacked out drunk. So I'm sure it was like him walking around the corner. You would have been like, what the fuck?
Production is like so sneaky. Before that party, they were literally feeding me shots in my bathroom.
Yeah, they knew that he was coming.
And none of the other girls were there. They were just
God.
like, I was getting ready, like we were doing hair and makeup, and then they were like, Iris, are you excited for the party tonight? Like, let's take a shot. Like, and then
so
me and a producer would take a shot, and then another producer would be like, oh, I want to take a shot with Iris too. And like take another shot. And then like we're just taking turns, taking shots. And I was like, oh my God, I'm like wasted right now. And we're about to have this party. Like, I don't know how to act.
Oh my God. And also, side note, because Deke was on my podcast, I think the first season when we recapped season 4. And he said that he had like this whole like nice outfit, like a suit vibe.
Oh, he said it was like linen.
Yeah.
He had like this all white linen.
Yeah. And then they literally were like, put on board shorts, rip off your top, and put on a bow tie. I was like, damn, okay. So they knew what they were doing that night for sure.
They did, yes.
I'm so dead. So he walks around the corner, you fangirl, you jump on him. Obviously, the show made it look like you were down. But it was always like, was it like a friend vibe or just like, what was it?
I think that initial night, I was like very drunk. And I was like, if I'm going to have like a connection with someone here, like he's like kind of my type on paper.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I was like, I mean, like he's got like the confident attitude. He's really funny. Like he's cool. He's cool to talk to. But like after that, after we got to know each other more, it was definitely like homey vibes. Okay. The rest of the show.
And he was probably like an easy like overnight date, because going on an overnight date for 24 hours with someone is intimidating as hell, especially when you don't like want to cheat on your partner.
Yes, I never wanted to cheat, but I was like Deke is awesome. Like if I didn't have a boyfriend, like he's really cool. I could get to know him.
Yeah. An easy person to spend 24 hours with.
Exactly. Like he made me laugh the whole time.
Yeah. Love that. So that was your experience on the show. Before we dive into how you think Luke looked on the show, anything else you want to add to your experience? And then we'll get into your engagement, because I have questions about that.
Yeah, I just feel like my experience, I really enjoyed it. Like, yes, preparing for bonfires was really hard.
Yeah.
Like thinking about Luke, like what he could be doing on the other side was super hard. But like I knew that I personally just wanted to grow as well. And like I had to keep focusing on that. And I could just only hope that Luke was doing the same thing on the other side.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. So once you got through the show, you heard how Luke was, and you saw him on the show, what are your thoughts about his experience and how he looked? I know we talked about how in confessionals he had the crazy eyes and it seemed like he was acting. I observed that same thing. And like I said, I wasn't a fan from like minute 1. I was just like the red flags were abundant. Okay. I was like, this poor girl, she's in it.
So like literally last week, I like watched the first 2 episodes over again.
Oh God.
And I was like, holy shit, I look so miserable.
Yeah. No, it was really weird for me, because it just didn't, it was so obvious and clear, but like we said, it's not.
Like, that is a different girl
than
who I am today.
Yeah.
I'm like, why do I look so miserable? Well, obviously, I know why now, but I'm like, I just can't believe that. Like, that is crazy.
Crazy to see what you look like back then.
Yeah.
And he didn't cheat on the show.
I mean, he crossed some lines, but he didn't kiss anyone. He didn't sleep with anyone. So, like, for the most part, he didn't cheat.
That actually surprises me, to be honest.
I really do think because we are the 4th season, that makes a difference.
Okay.
Because like
why do you think that makes a difference?
Because like we were able to like watch back other episodes.
Okay.
He could see like all the flack that like the douchey guys got from previous seasons.
Oh, yeah.
And like he could probably like Luke is not stupid.
So he
like,
didn't want to be a villain. He didn't want it to affect his business. He was being like sneaky with it. So it wasn't.
I wouldn't say it was because like
I was just gonna say
loves me. Like,
he was being strategic.
Yes, that's exactly what I think.
Okay, honestly, that makes sense.
Well,
that does make sense.
Evan didn't have a prior season to watch. I mean, there was like the ones from the 2000s, but it's so different now.
Plus, Evan was so manipulated by production because they basically were telling him, like, you're going to be a star, like this, you're going to be the happily ever after, like your life is going to never be the same in the best way. And he ate that shit up and he got portrayed as the biggest villain on most reality TV shows ever. And he was told the opposite by production. So Luke is smart because that could have very easily been him.
Yeah. And like he has a business, so he knows like
See, Evan didn't have a job, so he didn't have like he didn't have to worry about any of that. So Luke had to worry about.
Yes.
Okay, makes sense.
Yeah, he had like a business, he had all these students, he like knew that he couldn't like just cheat on TV and like get off scot-free.
Yeah. Okay, that makes sense. So, yeah, he's definitely smart in that way. Mm-hmm. So, by the way, what lines did he cross that you just mentioned? He didn't cheat or kiss.
Did you watch the reunion?
Yeah, but let's talk about that. What the hell was that? Because why didn't they show that in the show? And then why the hell did they put it on the reunion?
Exactly.
Because that blew my mind. Because at the end of the show, I was like, okay, like I almost felt bad for how much shit I gave him because he didn't do anything. And then when I saw the reunion, I was like, holy shit, like what the hell? Like I didn't even know what to think.
Yeah. So I truly think that they like withheld all like the good footage from me. Mm-hmm. Like everything he was doing across lines. Probably because in that first bonfire when he's like partying and like girls are twerking on him, I didn't freak out because I was like, oh, like he's not emotionally connecting with anyone and I am and I feel really guilty.
Yeah.
So they probably thought like the little like things that cross the line wouldn't affect me unless it was like a montage.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Which is what they aired at the reunion.
Yeah, no, that like came out of left field. I was like, damn, and you guys were engaged at that point. I was like, that's crazy that they just put this all out after they got engaged.
I could be wrong, but like that is what makes sense to me. Like, why would they withhold all of that?
Yeah.
You know?
100%.
Who knows? Maybe they would have wanted like a couple to get engaged at the end because like everyone was like falling apart.
That's what I was gonna say. Like when you're on a reality TV show, like everyone has a character to play and everyone has a storyline. And you guys were obviously their like happily ever after storyline.
Yeah, like it made the most sense.
Yeah.
Like we had like 5 years in, Lascelles and Ashley had 7, but like Lascelles and Ashley were like so far from making it that it was like we were the next best thing, even though like we probably shouldn't be together.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, let's talk about the engagement. We just talked about the reunion and how you were disappointed by it.
Oh yeah. So
do you want to talk about the reunion or the engagement first? Which one?
Let's talk about because there's so much to each one.
I know. How about let's talk about the engagement first, and then we'll go into the reunion. So, again, I'm always very honest, and what I'm about to say, I just want you to be honest with me, because one thing that I am so thankful for about how the way my relationship ended, and I don't know if marriage is ever going to be in the cards for me. I might just like be one of those people just that thrive solo. However, if I ever do get engaged, like I am so happy that Evan didn't steal that moment from me first. That it's just going to be a one and done for me, you know? When I get engaged, it's going to be like, this is my person and it's going to be special and with the right guy. How do you feel about the fact that you got engaged on television with Luke and he wasn't the right guy and that moment has already kind of happened with him?
Honestly, like, I could feel disappointed by it, but I feel very thankful.
Okay.
Because, like, the show showed me a different side of him, a different side of me.
I love that.
And, like, even though, like, it was a really cute moment, like, there's so much more for me out there that I feel that I deserve.
Oh, love that answer.
And it's like, we didn't walk down the aisle yet. I didn't make the mistake yet.
Exactly.
Like, it's fine.
Hell yes. Snaps. We love it. We love it. Okay, that was my hard question about that. So what was it like getting engaged on national television? Did you see it coming? Did you take me through that?
So I slightly saw it coming.
You did?
Just because.
They measured your finger?
No. They took me to get my nails done, and they didn't take any of the other girls to get their nails done.
100%.
Yeah,
I would have been like, something's happening.
I was like, why am I getting my nails done?
Yeah.
And then I was like, can I get a crazy color, like orange or whatever? They were like, let's stick to something classic.
Yeah. They're like, no, let's not do clown nails.
And they were like, French tips look good. And I was like, okay.
Okay.
Like, let's
See,
do it.
you're smart too. You like picked up on it. You're like,
Yes.
something's up. Okay.
Yeah. So I was like, they want that ring to look good on the finger. My nails done.
I appreciate that. Go production, man. They know what's up.
Yes.
So you got your nails done. And then it's final
Oh, and then they had me wear like the pink princess dress.
Okay.
I wanted to wear something really sexy, like almost see-through.
Okay.
And it was like form-fitting. And
Love it.
Bomb. But then they were like, oh, you should wear this cute like pink princess dress. And I was like,
you're like, oh, okay.
I think I'm getting engaged tonight.
I'm so dead.
But I was really excited at the time because I was like, I don't think like me and Luke have done anything bad. Like all the bonfire clips they showed me, it was like just him like maybe like talking just about me, like trying to make the relationship better, like saying that like he doesn't get enough credit. And I was like, we can work through that.
Yeah.
Like that's fine. So I was really excited. And I remember like they did my hair and makeup to look like a princess. It was really cute.
You looked beautiful.
Thank you.
No,
I appreciate it.
You really did. You look stunning. And I mean, I know the sexy dress you would have liked, but I think your whole look was like classy, elegant. You looked beautiful.
Yes. Thank you.
You're welcome.
So, we do our final bonfire, and honestly, it like wasn't bad.
Yeah, no, you
it was very calm.
Yeah, it was great. Like you guys, like if anyone's gonna go on TI, like that's how you would want your final bonfire to be.
Like there were no tears even.
Yeah,
it was crazy. But then when he gets down on one knee to propose to me, I remember feeling disappointment.
Okay, I was gonna ask you that because I preach this all the time, like on Instagram, on the podcast, like listen to your gut. Like you had a little bit of a gut feeling.
Yes.
So what made you have that gut feeling? What did it feel like? When did it happen? I want to know everything.
So I thought he would have had a speech prepared,
and there was nothing.
It was like
I
a sentence or two.
I haven't watched it in a long time, so I don't remember exactly.
Yeah, if you watch it again,
I'm gonna
it was
watch
just like
again.
a very simple sentence. He didn't talk about like our beginnings or
he
like
didn't
why
pour
he
his heart
loves
out
me.
to you the way he should.
To me. Yeah, like he didn't tell me why he loves me, like he wants to build a future with me or anything. There was nothing like that.
Yeah, no.
He kind of just said like you've helped me like in growing so much, and then he just said, will you be my girl forever or something?
Shut the fuck up. He
didn't say Iris Jardiel.
I was going to say, you got to say the middle name.
The middle name.
Min.
It matters.
It fucking matters.
When you propose,
say the middle name.
Always use the first, middle, and last name.
Get down on a knee, number one. Number two, you say the full name, first, middle, and last. You have a speech fucking prepared. Pour your heart out. And you have to ask, will you be my wife? Will you do the honor of being my wife?
Yes.
So he literally just said, will you be my girl
forever?
He didn't even say your name at all?
No. Well, maybe he said Iris.
Oh.
He was like, Iris,
no.
Will you be my girl forever?
Fired.
Like, there was no, will you marry me? Or will you do me the honor of being my wife and marry me? Like, no.
So you had a gut feeling. You're like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
I would have been what the fuck too.
Yeah, but then like I was like, at least he's doing it. Like, yeah. And I was just like so thankful that at least like we made it. And
because you're a good person, so you're probably like again making excuses for him because you have a good heart.
Yeah, thank you. But like, for a second, I was wondering if like production was gonna cut and have him like do it better. I was hoping it could be that way because like I wanted my family or like my friends to see this and be like, that was beautiful. There were no cuts whatsoever. He said, will you be my girl forever? And then
I need to watch it again because I'm mind blown that he said, will you just be my girl forever? Like, what the hell?
Yes.
I don't understand why production didn't coach him and tell him what he needs to say.
Oh, and also, when I watched the season and I figured out how he decided to propose to me, that was disappointing too. Because remember, Hanya wanted to propose to Ash.
Yes.
He got her that
shit was
that,
crazy.
like, wedding band thing. Yeah. And then Luke all of a sudden's like, hey, dude, like, I'm gonna do it too.
Yeah. Wait, I forgot that whole thing. I remember when at first when Hanya said he was gonna ask Ash to marry, I was like, please God, production, step in. Like, this shit's crazy. Like, someone needs to tell him to stop.
That was never gonna work.
That shit was crazy. And then you're right, Luke was just like, you know what? Like, I'll do. Yeah, no, it should be like so just like.
Like, he should be.
It should be like he wants to marry you so badly and knows so completely that you're his future wife, that it's just like it kills him to not propose to you. Like, it doesn't. No one else matters. He just wants to go get a ring and make it perfect, and he wants to say your first, middle, and last name.
Exactly. All the names. Like,
all the names.
But like, apparently, also before they went ring shopping, production, like, I guess, did go into his room, and they were like, hey, like, we noticed you and Iris haven't really, like, done anything, like, horrible to each other. Would you want to propose to her?
Wait, I'm so dead. Wait, so you guys didn't cheat and do anything so bad. Let's get married.
Yes, right? Like, it's not even, like, right for us, but they were like, we need this proposal.
Yeah, let's commit to her for the rest of your life. Right? You handled 3 weeks.
There's, like, so much work to do still, but let's get married.
I'm screaming. That's so on brand of production.
Yes. So apparently they like went into his bedroom. They were like, hey, like, you guys haven't done anything horrible to each other. We know that you guys talked prior to going on the show. Like, if you guys got out of this, you would get engaged.
Yeah.
And they're like, do you still want to do that? And Luke was like,
yeah, sure.
He was like, you know what? I have to think about it. And then they were like, well,
see, that's immediately like, no, you shouldn't. It should be a no-brainer. It should be like, absolutely
I want
fuck
to
yeah,
propose to her.
Yes.
But it should also come from him.
Exactly.
It shouldn't have to take production coming into his room to be like, do you want to do this?
Yeah.
But basically, he was like, I have to think about it. And then they were like, okay, well, just so you know, like, if that is something you want to do, like, we'll have a ring for you.
Oh my God.
Yes. And so
this just blows my mind.
Yeah. And so, like, the cheapskate in him was probably like a light went off, and he was like, yes. Like,
okay, so I will say though, on that note, because I've talked about this before too. Mm-hmm. Like, if I ever got asked to go back on a show like this, and it was like, and I met someone that I genuinely like had a real connection with and was in love and wanted to be with forever. Like, I'm not gonna lie, I would want to work the system and like get a free ring too. So let's own that, okay? Anyone would want to do that, but you have to do it the right way. You go on there with a game plan and like,
it has to be earned.
Yes, exactly. Yes. So like, I get that, but the way that Luke did it was not correct, because he was like, maybe I'll get it.
And had I known that, I never would have said yes.
Yeah, 100%. No, of course not. No, absolutely not. So that was the engagement. And then you guys leave TI. Were things like normal between you once the camera shut off? Like, what was happening once the camera shut off?
So right after we got off the show, like, things were very good for like the next month, right?
Okay.
Like, he was treating me very well. He was, like, taking care of me more. He was, like, listening to me more. We were like, oh, my gosh, we got to have this show together. Like,
yeah,
we're going to be, like, a power couple. Like, we have all these plans together.
I love the power couple vibes. That's, like, everyone's dream.
Right? Yeah. That was, like, why I wanted to do the show, too. Yeah. I was like, we could really be a power couple.
Just take over the world together.
Yeah.
I love it.
It didn't happen, and that's okay.
No.
But
it's all good.
Yes. But yeah, like, after a month, I started to see old patterns coming back.
They came back pretty quick. So he basically kept it together for like a month.
Yes.
Okay.
So it was like, I'm paying for my Chipotle again.
Still.
And like, Luke makes really good money.
That's what I was just going to ask. Like, he makes good money. What's the deal? Why does he not pay for his own Chipotle? Like, I don't understand.
And like, I'm fine, like, still covering myself. But it was like, we are engaged. And
literally, you're gonna get married.
Yeah.
He should be providing for you.
And we were still taking my car everywhere.
Does he not have a car?
He has a car.
Why doesn't he ever drive?
He doesn't want to pay for gas.
Iris.
No, this was like actually
Iris.
a problem in our friend group like over the summer. Cause like
What the fuck?
one of my friends, Brian, he like wanted us to come to his like cabin
Okay.
like at the lake, and it was like maybe like 25 miles away.
Uh-huh.
It was a little bit of a drive. And me and Luke have always taken my car to the cabin.
Yeah.
And one day, because we were engaged, right? I was like, well, we always take my car. Do you think like possibly you could drive this time? Or like if not, like I feel like I have to put my foot down and like maybe even ask you for gas money for once. And Luke was like, I'm not giving you gas money. I don't want to take my car. Let's just not go. And we'd already told all of our friends, like, we're coming to see you guys. We're so excited. But like my principals were just telling me like I have to put my foot down. Like
100%.
we are engaged. Like he should be taking me in his car to our friend's cabin.
Yes. And not asking you for shit.
Yeah. And so I had to tell our friends like the truth and be like, well, this is what's happening. I'm so sorry.
I'm
but
actually
like,
very proud of you for doing that.
Thank you.
Seriously, like enough is enough. Holy shit.
and all of them gave him shit.
Good.
They like
It's
they called
insane.
him and they were like, bro, what the fuck? Like
Yeah.
either you drive your girl or you give her gas money.
Yeah.
Like, that is your woman. She always drives you up here. You're always in her car. Yeah.
What did he say? I wish actually I was just about to say I wish you guys could see my face right now because I'm used to like not being on camera. I'm like, you guys, my face right now, my mouth is like
Right?
open.
this
What
is,
the
like,
fuck?
After the show. Like,
And you guys
engaged.
and you're engaged. Like that's the
Yeah.
thing. I'm just like when you get engaged, it's like that's a promise that he's committing to you and providing for
And
you.
he like got ridiculed on national TV for being a cheapskate.
yeah,
and
dude.
it's like,
The McDonald's
that not
shit, the
resonate with
McDonald's shit blew my mind. I was like, bitch, there ain't no way.
Deke like went after
I
him.
I
It was
tweeted it. I
hilarious.
retweeted that. I was like, this freaking Deke hit the nail on the head, man. Because I cannot believe this man is making his girl pay for McDonald's right now. Like, I'm blown away.
Yes.
So, what was his reaction when all of your friends gave him shit? What did he say?
He literally like didn't care. He's like, I'm gonna go to the gym. Like,
oh yeah,
bye.
F this guy. No offense, sorry, but
Yeah.
oh god, yeah, no,
And like, they still bring it up to this day.
yeah, because it's insane.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh,
So-
okay, good lord. So shit started getting bad pretty quick. You guys were good for a month.
And even at the reunion, like, I feel bad because like
That's what we were gonna get into.
I was totally just like protecting him there. Like,
well, yeah, because like I said,
making it sound like everything was so perfect, but like deep down I knew it wasn't. But I was like, it's gonna change. Like,
yeah,
it's fine. And I even had his back through like all those clips that they showed me, and
Yeah.
I was like, for me, I was like rationalizing in my head that like if I have his back, then he'll be so thankful to me that he will want to just be better to me.
yeah,
And like
Aw.
that didn't happen.
Yeah.
Clearly.
Yeah, but like I said, like you're a genuine person, and like when you're in love with someone and you're committing to him, he's gonna be your husband. Holy shit! It's
Yeah.
like protecting him is part of your job. So it's just you protected the wrong person, which we've all been there, girl. That's why you're on the podcast today.
Yes.
So ladies listening, we've
And now
all
we're
been there.
happier.
Well, yeah,
It's fine.
leave them in the dust. If any of this is relatable,
Yeah.
leave them in the dust. Like zero hesitation, because both of us are thriving and happy and don't deal with any of this bullshit anymore.
Exactly.
Hell to the
Hell
no.
no. So the reunion, like,
Let's chat.
it's so funny because before going to the reunion, I knew like I hadn't done anything bad on the show, but I was like, I feel like they can always edit us a certain
Yeah.
way. Like, what if I'm the villain? Like,
Stop.
yes.
I'm so
And I
dead.
hadn't even done anything, but I'm just like that person that's like, I never want Luke to like think I did anything
Yeah.
bad to him.
Yeah.
Yeah. And so prior to going to the reunion, like, of course they call us. They're like, hey, this is when the reunion is. We really want you to be there. You're also going to watch like all the episodes prior to going on. And like, that's how it goes. And I was nervous.
Yeah.
I was like, what if I'm the villain? Oh my gosh. And
You the
Luke,
villain. You're like America's
literally-
sweetheart. I'm so dead.
Luke was like, we're gonna be fun. Like, I'm gonna look like Prince Charming. You're gonna be the princess. Like, it's
Eye
gonna
roll.
be fine. And I was like, okay, like, I was
Okay.
like, if I did anything, just know, like, I truly don't think I did anything, but, like, if I may have said something that's edited a certain way, like, I'm so sorry.
Yeah.
Literally, like, nothing I did, like, that was aired was bad.
Yeah.
And, like, everything he did, almost everything, was, like, mind-blowing.
Yeah. No, it was really, especially because for me personally, I remember when I watched the season, I gave him a shit ton of shit for like the first half of the season.
Yeah.
And Erin was a fan. She like didn't get it why I was like not down for him. And then
even like the first couple episodes when I watched them last week, I was like, he is saying like some really disrespectful things. Yeah.
100%. The red flags were abundant. And then the latter half, I feel like production was editing him really well because they needed him to be the happily ever after.
Yeah, they needed some happy couple.
Exactly. So I kind of was like, okay, maybe I'm wrong. Like maybe it's not so bad. But then when I saw the reunion, I was like, okay, so they just hid all this shit the whole time and then just like dumped it all at once.
I like didn't see it coming.
No.
I was like,
did you get like that pit in your stomach where you just like want to like shit yourself?
Yeah.
I was gonna say,
you know, like in that moment,
you
like,
kept it. You kept
internally
cool.
freaking out, and
You
I'm
kept
like,
cool.
oh my god, all my friends and family are gonna see this. This is not good, but like I have to hold it together because like also I want to hear him out. Like after this, like what does he have to say about this? I'm not just gonna throw the ring at him and be like, fuck you, like we're not together anymore.
Because you're a mature, self-aware woman, so you were like, we need to have a conversation. Like, but you were I would have been internally freaking out too, but keeping cool. I would have been like what you did. I would have been like, nothing's wrong, but inside I was dying.
Yeah, I was literally dying inside, but I was like, I'm gonna keep it together. We're gonna get through this. We're gonna talk after, and it's gonna be okay. I just want it to be okay so bad. And I was like, I'm literally gonna pull a Hillary Clinton up here. I was like, yeah, like he told me everything. We're fine.
You're like, we're good. Everything's fine. No, you handled it like a boss because when I watched it, I was actually like, she must have known. Like, she must be, like, you really played it off well.
Well, so he told me little things like, oh, like, this girl, like, was, like, jumping on me a bunch. I never wanted her to, and it might, like, look compromising. But, like, he said, like, I always, like, told her I was never down.
Yeah.
But, like, when I watch those clips, he's clearly not doing enough.
No, and one thing that really stood out to me watching the show that never added up to me is a bunch of the girls, like Paige, Juicy, they were like genuinely like hurt and surprised and pissed.
Yeah.
And it never added up to me because I was like, why are they so emotional and pissed?
Yeah.
And it's like, okay, now it's adding up. And then the single guys too, I was like, why do they fucking hate this guy so much? And everything started making sense. I was like, okay, he's actually like a D-bag, like 100%.
It was crazy because like at the reunion, I felt like everyone like genuinely liked me.
Yeah.
And they like had my back.
How the hell can anyone not like you?
But like the stark contrast with Luke. So like I know they edit the reunion down, like they don't air everything, but we were probably on that stage for like 1 or 2 hours, just me and Luke up there. Yeah. And everyone was just berating him.
Yeah, because he's not a good guy, man. And people love you.
Thank you.
That's why I'm so glad my season didn't have a reunion. I couldn't have done that. It would have been a bloodbath, man. Yeah. I give you like props because that's sitting up there. Plus, you guys were engaged, though, so it's a little different. But still, I just gave anyone that's done a reunion for TI, bow down. Like, I couldn't do it.
Yeah, that was hard because, like, I just had to sit there and take everyone, like, ridiculing my fiance for, like, 2 hours. And, like, you can clearly see how miserable I look. The whole reunion. I'm, like, literally looking down like this, like, please make it stop.
Yeah,
please make it stop.
You're like, I've just had enough.
Yeah.
Aw. So reunion, not good. You guys go home.
Yes. But I was like, I want it to work so bad. Like, we will talk it out. Maybe
you
we
committed
to
him.
Yeah.
Once you commit, you're all in. I get it.
Yeah.
So I respect it too.
I
do. So after the reunion, what happened off camera? Did you confront him? What was the deal?
I did confront him, and he was like apologizing like crazy. He's like, I'm so sorry. Like, I look like an absolute idiot. All of our friends and family are going to see this.
Yeah. Humiliating.
Yeah. And he's like, I don't even know like what to do or how to feel, but just know that I'm so sorry. And I was like, okay, like,
Okay.
that's a step.
Yeah.
Like, you're taking accountability. We learned something on the show.
We learned at least one thing.
Yes.
I'm so dead.
And like, I thought it was cute because like we extended our stay, and he was like, I'll pay for like everything the rest of the trip.
Oh, okay. So it seemed a little bit different to you.
Yeah, like
Okay.
he like got us like a cool Airbnb the rest of the trip. Like
Okay.
he was like taking care of our meals, and he's like, I want to prove to you like I'm not that guy. I'm so sorry.
See,
Like
he was damage controlling right now. He was like,
yes,
damage control, man.
like keep Iris happy, and she won't do shit.
Yeah. Oh,
Yeah.
Good Lord. So that happened after the reunion. You
Mhm.
guys are still engaged at this point.
Yes,
Okay.
I wanted to make it work,
Yes.
and that's all that was going through my head.
Yeah. Again, I respect it. No judgment. So now our next point. Things are going to start getting a little crazy, everyone. So buckle up.
Yes.
You catch Luke. After all this, after everything that you've been through, you've protected him on national television.
Oh, so you know how we were like briefly broken up after the show?
No,
Right
let's
after
talk
the show.
about
And then like we aired a YouTube video. In
That's
November.
the part that I'm getting into
Yes,
right now.
okay,
Okay.
perfect.
That's the part I'm getting into right now. So after everything that you've done for him, you've protected him on national television. You were loyal to him on TI. You were incredible
Yes.
girlfriend,
And,
providing
like,
for him, paying
Everyone
for things.
knows like our problems going on to TI. Like I
Yeah.
always caught him messaging other girls.
Yes.
It was inappropriate. It hurt my feelings.
And that was his storyline on the
Yeah.
show. So
Mhm.
that was a big no-no, which honestly, that is a big no-no. Like that counts as cheating. I don't care what anybody says. It's a different type of cheating, but DMing
It
girls,
hurts.
DMing girls on Instagram when you're engaged is cheating. End of story.
yes.
Period.
Mm-hmm.
So you found after you're engaged, after the reunion, you caught him DMing girls again,
I call him DMing one girl, and like
specifically.
super random girl, like lives out here in Miami. They'd never met.
They never met. So this is just some random
girl, like little like
See, what the hell is wrong with him? So
Yeah.
he's just like hunting for these girls.
Well, I think this girl, maybe she was a fan of the show. She like messaged
So
him.
DM'd him.
Like she has like all these
God.
like hot ass photos.
Okay,
Like
an Instagram baddie.
yes.
Okay.
Exactly.
Ugh.
But honestly, she looked like maybe anywhere from 18 to 21.
Good Lord. Okay. So you caught them. How long have they been DMing?
So it was very brief.
Okay.
I will say that. Like
Okay.
it wasn't anything like he was sexting her. They weren't sexting each other. But like he had this story that he posted of him skateboarding,
Mm-hmm.
and she was like, "Wow, that's so hot."
Mm-hmm.
And his response, like when we get DMs like that, we either don't respond or
Yeah.
maybe we'll just say like, "Thank you."
Yeah.
That's it.
Yeah.
His response was, "Oh, haha, you like skater guys," with like a winky face.
Oh, absolutely the fuck not.
And we're
No.
engaged.
No. No. No.
Yes, that
No.
was his response to this like young looking like.
And you have a
Instagram
ring
baddie.
on your finger
I have
right
a
now.
ring on my finger, and this was right after my birthday. Yeah.
Okay, yeah. This is, it's going to keep getting crazier too.
Yes.
Okay, so you see that, and
Mm-hmm.
what do you do?
Oh my god.
Because I remember
because
what
she
you,
was like, he was like, "Oh, haha, so you like skater guys," and like winky face, and then she was like, "Not particularly, but whatever you just did in that video was super hot."
oh,
and, like,
jeez.
He sent her another message again with like smiley faces all over the place.
So
and-
he's flirting with this girl.
yes, and
100%.
I don't think she responded, but if she did, he probably would have kept it going.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I was like, that's not okay. Like, we are engaged to be married.
Yeah.
We've like done a whole TV show.
Yeah.
It's been like 5.5 years. Like,
Yeah.
you should get it by now that you don't like entertain any of these girls and flirt with them in an inappropriate way.
100%.
And it would just hurt me so much because I felt like I protected him at the reunion. Like,
Yeah.
we'd done all this stuff. We'd built so much together.
Yeah.
That like, how could you throw that all away for this like random person you don't even know who's across the country?
Because he has a problem.
Exactly.
He has a problem. There's something off.
Yes.
That's why.
Yeah.
But you guys wanted to make it work, and this is something that we talked about, I think, in that first phone call that me and you talked for like 2 hours.
Yeah, and I was also like just skeptical of like the future that we have together because of like his family.
Yeah, which I completely empathize with, but at the end of the day, it's like if you're going to commit to someone for the rest of your life, like you have to be a priority.
Yes.
You know, like I understand like you always have to put yourself first, like your health first, but your partner and like your future wife should be right up there in a top priority above your family. Like because you're his family, you were going to be his family.
And like gonna raise the kids,
yeah,
you know?
Yeah, 100%. And you were like on the back burner, which I told you, I was like, not gonna work. Not gonna work, my friends. But you guys decided to make it work despite this because of public pressure, right? Because everybody kind of thought that you guys were like the
fairy tale couple,
happily ever after. Everyone thought it was perfect, and you wanted to keep that going. But I don't think it was so much you wanting to cover it up. It was more Luke wanting everyone to know things were good and dandy because he wanted to do that YouTube video, right?
I think so.
Okay.
Yes. And he was so stoked to go on like the Reality Steve podcast, do the YouTube video, just be like, yeah, we're solid, we're good. Like, I'm so good to Iris.
What the hell? So he's the one that wanted to go on to Reality Steve and make the YouTube video?
Yeah, because prior to it, I was like, should we do this? Like, I'm not really sure.
You're like, it's not all fun and games over here.
Yeah, like,
like the shit's like
rainbows and roses.
Yeah, you're like, shit's falling apart. Like, and we're telling everyone that it's not.
Yeah.
Okay. So, you guys, tell me about the YouTube video. Why did you guys do that?
So,
didn't you take off your ring? This is what I remember. Mm-hmm. So there was like, you guys were together. Everyone thought everything was fine. And then I think you posted a thirst trap.
I did.
Without your ring on. And then it had some sort of like clever little caption. And everyone was like, holy shit, they're not together anymore. Right?
Yeah. So
yeah, I remember. I was like, oh shit.
I posted like this bikini
You looked hot as hell.
Thank you.
Yeah, you did.
I think my caption was like, don't fumble the bag.
Yes, that was what it was. I totally forgot what it was, but I knew it was something good. Yeah. And there was no ring, and everybody in the comments was losing their shit. They're like, they're done.
Yeah.
So that's what happened.
And even Deke commented. Did you see that?
Yes, I did. Deke was right at the top, and I giggled because I think I even liked his comment.
Yeah, he said something like, well, like, he fumbled the bag because that ring is off or something.
Yes, I know. Yeah. And I noticed it too. And I was like, oh, shit.
And I hadn't even like told Deke anything, but like, Deke's smart.
Yeah, no, he's very smart and very observant. So yeah, I noticed the same shit. I was like, oh yeah, they are not together anymore. There's no way she'd post this thirst trap with that caption without a ring. Which
is honestly like
way that they're together.
It is very toxic on my end. Like, I will admit that. I'm normally not that person, and like I hate becoming that person.
Yeah, but you were in a toxic relationship. Plus, also, I've said this before on this podcast. I think everybody is toxic. And
yes.
Everyone is toxic. And if you're
pushed to that limit, it'll come out.
Exactly.
Yes.
And I think just the fact that like we can sit here and be self-aware and be like, yeah, like I was toxic, like I did some bad stuff too. That's like already you're ahead of the game. It's the people that can't sit here and be like, you know what, like I'm perfect and like I'm never toxic. Those are the ones you need to be scared of.
Exactly.
Okay,
those are the sociopaths.
Those are the ones you got to be scared of. The ones that are like, yeah, I'm like perfect and amazing. No, dude, everybody's toxic. Everybody fucks up. Yeah. And yeah, you were feeding into it a little bit, but honestly, I would have done the same fucking thing. So
yeah,
I when you're in a toxic relationship, you're gonna be toxic every now and then. Yeah.
Yes.
So you post that photo. Everybody is speculating you guys aren't together.
Mm-hmm.
Because pretty soon after that was the YouTube video, right?
Yes.
Okay, take me through that. Why did you guys do this YouTube video? What was the point? Let's go all through that.
So we did the YouTube video, and Luke was so stoked to do it because he was basically
Pause really quick.
Oh yeah.
When did you guys? I want to give a timeline to people. When did we drop the YouTube video?
Oh, we dropped the YouTube video in November
of 2022, right?
Yes.
Okay, so we are in June of 2023, so less than a year ago.
And I caught these messages with that girl in July.
Okay, so last summer.
Yeah, so we were like very rocky in between those months.
Okay.
And like I had taken my ring off. I was like, we were broken up. I did break up with him, and I was like, this is not okay.
But you weren't telling the public that yet. You like
No.
you put out that photo where it like hinted that something maybe happened, but you never publicly were like, we're not engaged anymore.
Yes.
Okay. So then in November, you guys decide to do this joint YouTube video together.
Mm-hmm.
But
and we decided to like get back together too.
yes.
And I was like, okay, like maybe we can go to counseling. Maybe we can like try out all these options to make it work, because like we are almost 6 years in, and I don't just want to throw it all away.
Yeah. It's a natural instinct when you spend that much time with someone. It's like, holy shit, like it's a lot of time wasted on the wrong person.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And so like we were on board with that, and he was like, okay, like Reality Steve is like asking if we're still together or not. Like we should go on the podcast and like air that out, and also make a YouTube video. And I was like, okay, like what are we gonna say though? And he's like, I don't think we should say that, like talk about the messages. Like we have such like a brand as a power couple.
Fucking of course he doesn't want to talk about the messages. Good Lord. Brand as a power couple.
Yeah. And like I got on board with it too, because I was like, okay, like you're right. Like I want us to like be the power couple and like build something together and like be happy together, honestly.
Yeah. So you guys go on YouTube, you go on Reality Steve, and you basically tell the world that you guys are fine and everything's great.
Yeah.
Which is not true.
Not true.
Okay. So that happened in...
I really tried though.
I know. Girl, we were late. You gave it your all. Because I feel like that's like the only way that you could really walk away, knowing that you gave it your all.
Exactly.
You know?
Exactly. But get this, right after we air the YouTube video, do the podcast, I think like within the same week.
Yeah. Shit's getting crazy.
Like he wins like this like shopping spree from like this company that he like helps promote Amazon FBA for. Mm-hmm. And it's like a $3,000 like shopping spree or something.
Okay.
And he decides to purchase a ticket across the world and go to
Thailand,
like
right?
Go to Dubai first.
And then Thailand.
Yeah, and like travel all these countries on that side of the world.
Okay.
Like,
and he didn't ask you, right?
He didn't ask me.
He just did this.
He just did it.
Yeah.
He was like, I really want to travel, and like I know I have to do this like before I get married and all this stuff. And I was like, oh wow, like that's a lot.
You said, oh wow,
that's like a lot to throw at me after we just aired all this stuff and
telling everyone that we're fine and amazing, and now you're abandoning me and flying across the country without me.
Yes.
Yeah.
And like
what the fuck?
I had my job at the time. I couldn't just like I couldn't.
You can't just like pick up and go. Like you have to plan this out. Plus,
exactly.
honestly, the fact that he didn't even ask you is so disrespectful.
Yeah, he didn't ask me.
So this happened. His trip happened. What was this? December or January?
Yes. So he decided to leave in December.
Okay.
And like right before he left for his trip, like when he told me this, I ended up just being like, okay, like do what you have to do.
Yeah.
If you really want to travel, go see the world, that's fine. Just like be loyal to me.
Because again, you're a ride or die and you want to support him in his dreams and you're just
and I was like, we'll talk on the phone every day. It'll be fine.
Yeah.
And like he was like, okay, cool. And I was like, this is gonna be hard. But like I want him to be happy. I want to be happy. And if this is what's like gonna make him
happy, you want him to do it.
Exactly.
Yeah. I freaking get it.
Yeah.
So he bounces.
But then right before he bounces, like,
oh shit, you're right. So you guys, when at the beginning when I said Iris called me a few months ago, this is what she called me about. Everything we're about to talk about. So the day before he leaves, so he tells you he's going away on this trip, but he wants to stay together. You guys are going to talk all the time. You support it. You're here for it. You're like, I fully support you if this is what it's going to take to be happy. The day before he fucking leaves, tell everyone what happens.
Yeah. This is like the same week or the day before he leaves. He's literally like, hey, so like I know I'm going to be gone for a long time and I kind of like don't really want to be tied down. I feel like I want to go explore other people and I'm hoping you're okay with that. Like I still want us to be best friends.
It pissed me off the first time you told me this, and it's pissing me off again.
Yeah, and I was just
this
like...
isn't a boyfriend. Like, this is, like, your future husband. Like, you have a ring on your finger at this point.
Yes.
Like, it's so batshit.
It's so crazy.
Yeah.
And like, he's like, I just don't like want to mess up or like cheat on you. And I feel like we deserve to like see what else is out there. And I was like,
see what else is out there after you asked me to be your wife.
Yeah. I'm like, you literally gaslit me.
Yeah. Plus it's just like, that's literally code for like, I'm going to go fuck
other girls.
Fuck girls all over the world and leave you at home.
Yes.
It's
exactly
the fact that he has like the audacity. Like
the audacity. After everything we've gone through. Like, that was crazy to me. And when he said this to me, Casey.
Tell me
honestly,
what you felt.
I was just exhausted.
Yeah.
I was absolutely exhausted.
I was going to ask.
And I was like, you know what? Fine.
You just like at that point, because what I tell people, because they're always like, how did you get over Evan so fast? Because everyone's like 10 years, like were you fine so quickly? Because I think the first 3 weeks I was really effed up, and then like something happened that third week that it was like, I think you're gonna relate to this. It was like a light switch. It was like the light switch was on for Evan, and then it was an immediate like off, like I do not give a fuck anymore.
Yes.
Like it was so bizarre. I've never felt anything like that, but it was literally like it was on and I was so like in love with him. And then, I thought I wasn't really in love. And then it was just like, boom, done. I'm exhausted. I don't give a fuck. Do your thing. Don't ever fucking speak to me again. I'm fine. I feel nothing.
Yeah, exactly.
Same thing.
I was in that exact same place.
Because you're just like, it was like you'd been through too much. It was like enough is enough. Like I literally can't do it anymore.
Yeah, that was me.
So
and I was like, you know what? Fine. I was like, go do what you have to do. Go explore other people. I'm going to do the same thing.
Yeah.
And like, it's still like ended well. Like, so I decided to like go on a trip like with my family to Fort Lauderdale.
Okay.
And like he still drove me to the airport. Finally drove me to the airport, you know.
About fucking time. Jesus.
And I asked him to because I was like, this is like the last time we'll see each other. Like I still like want to say bye to you.
Yeah.
And like it was really bittersweet.
Yeah.
I was like, well, like we're going to be exploring other people now apparently. And like I'm just going to go spend some time with my family.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's sad, man. What the fuck is wrong with this dude?
It was sad. But in my head, I was like, well, maybe like he will realize on this trip like how like much I've done for him and like
you're still
how many
like
good times
for him.
we've had together and that we did go on this show together and we really made something out of it and like there's still something there.
Yeah.
But at the same time, I was also like, fuck you.
Yeah.
Like, like it was like right in the middle. Like my feelings were all over the place.
I was going to say, I don't think you'd fully reached the I'm done point yet that I just talked about, but you were walking the line between not giving a fuck and still caring a little bit.
Absolutely. And so he goes off to Dubai.
Did you take the ring off at this point?
Yes.
So the ring is off and you guys both mutually agree you guys are going to see other people and do your thing. Also, really quick, just so you know our timeline, it's 4/22. Okay, so cool. Just we don't have that much more to talk about, honestly.
Yeah. So basically, we go off and do our own things, and then I see Jillian in West Palm because I go to Florida with my family, and Jillian is like
really quick for anyone that hasn't seen season 4. Jillian was another girlfriend on season 4, and her and Iris are very close besties. And Jillian lives in besties. Florida.
I love her. I just had dinner with her last night here. It was amazing. We're super close, and like I tell her everything, and she is just astounded. Mm-hmm. She's like, the audacity that insane. He has.
Yeah,
she's like, he left you.
Yeah, literally left you to go see other people in other countries. It's insane.
Yeah, and he didn't even ask
his future wife.
Exactly.
It's actually it's the more you say it, the worse it gets.
Yes. And so I was like, like I don't know like what's gonna happen. I'm just like I want to like get over it. Yeah. You know. And she's like, honestly, Iris, like you should go on this website.
Okay, so now we're gonna get into some fun stuff.
Yes.
So what website was it?
So it is called whatsyourprice.com. That already just sounds so bad.
I love it.
Yes.
This is such a good story. So you go on whatsyourprice.com. Jillian introduces it to you. Mm-hmm. And to let everyone know what the concept of that is really quick.
So the concept is there's all these like baller dudes who are bidding for a date with a girl.
Yes.
And like the girl doesn't have to sleep with them or anything. Like it can just be like for that meal that they pay you for, and like it's like they're paying for your time.
Yeah.
And they want like someone who's like beautiful or like quality.
Yeah.
And so I was like, oh my God, like
you're like, why not?
I've never done this
You've
before,
like, I've been in this
like, I would love to get paid just to eat.
Yeah, you're like, I've been in this friggin' relationship from hell. Where you won't pay like $20 for gas.
Exactly.
It's like, fuck yeah, like let's like try something new.
Let's like get treated right.
Yeah.
Let's get wine and dined.
Yeah, you're like, why not?
And I was like, honestly, I'm just gonna go on this site and eat a bunch of food with different guys and like never sleep with them and get paid for it.
Yeah, and just see what happens.
Yes.
I'm here for it. Living your best life.
Yes. And so the day I make a profile, I'm like, what the fuck am I doing? I've never done anything like this. I don't even like, I hadn't even gone on like Tinder and met up with anyone before in my life.
Yeah.
Like this was a very new world to me.
Yeah.
And like all of my boyfriends I've ever dated, it's like either I've kind of grown up with them or like I knew them for a while and we were like best friends.
I'm the same exact way. So it was probably very intimidating because you're not used to this like world of dating. Yeah, it still intimidates me if I'm being brutally honest.
It's a crazy world out
there. It's
a
lot. I'm one of those people that it's like I want to be friends with you first and like let's take it slow and have it turn into something. Like, but meeting like strangers, I'm just like that sends me over the edge.
Exactly.
So I have mad props for you, girl.
Thank you. Yeah, it was like a lot to be able to come out of my shell like that. But I was like, I need to like get over this man. Like, let's do it. And so
Luke motivated you to go on whatsyourprice.com.
I know.
Here
like,
for it.
After Temptation Island.
The least he can do.
Yes. And so literally like the day I make a profile, this guy named Ryan.
Yes.
Sends me a bid of like $500 and like to have brunch with him.
And when you told me this, I was like, girl, what?
I know.
It's like,
but what stood out is that majority of the guys on this site are like 50 and up.
Yeah.
Old, probably like maybe some of them are married. You don't know. Like that's like what sketches me out about it.
Especially it seems like this website is really good for like a sugar daddy, like sugar baby situation.
Yes.
You know? So but Ryan, tell us about Ryan, because he's not 50 and he's not old and he's not married.
So Ryan, at the time he was 28. He's 29 now.
Okay.
And like I'm 28. And I was like, he's my age.
You're like, what?
And he was like really hot. And I was like, oh my God, like, what's the catch here? And
you're like, it's too good to be true.
I was like,
you guys, it gets even better.
Yes. I was like, I'm probably getting catfish. I don't know. Or he could be like a serial killer / like human trafficker, kidnapper.
No, literally.
Yeah.
Oh God.
Yes.
But he's not. But let everyone know.
And so
he
like,
lets you know.
We talked, like we messaged a bit. He wanted to take me to brunch at the restaurant downstairs from the Four Seasons in Seattle. And I was like, okay, like let's do it. And
plus
like,
that's a vibe. Like Four
Seasons.
Seasons.
That's a vibe.
Yeah.
I was like, already.
You're like, okay, like yes, this is how it should be.
Yes. I was like, that's a great choice. Perfect. Right before our date though, I get like so scared that he could be like dangerous. Like he could be a serial killer for all I know.
No, that's like nowadays that's like a legit concern. I'm not even like trying to be funny. Like that's like a legit thing for women. It's like you just don't freaking know. Like don't give like guys your address right away. Like none of that. Like meet them in a public place. Like take an Uber home. Like you just don't fucking know.
I used a fake name on the website. I think I went by like Crystal or something.
Stop.
Yes. And so I'm like about to meet him and I was like scared. I was like, oh my God, like he could be dangerous. Like what am I doing?
You start panicking.
Yeah, and I like kind of tried to cancel like last minute on him.
And you were really late, right? You were like
45 minutes late.
Oh my God, this poor guy.
And I was literally even telling him like, I hope you're not like a serial killer or anything, like kind of joking. And he's like, no, I'm definitely not. But I was like chickening out a little bit. I showed up 45 minutes late. And
he waited that whole time.
He waited that whole time.
If he wanted to, he would.
Exactly.
If he wanted to, he would.
But basically, I like even valeted my car.
Yeah.
Because I was like, this man is not following me to the parking garage.
Yeah.
And I told the valet attendant, I was like, hey, I am going on a blind date right now, and if I don't come out, call the cops.
You really told him that?
I'm
screaming.
And he's like, okay, I got you.
He's like, I got you, girl. I got you.
Yeah. And
oh
so
my God.
I meet up with Ryan inside.
Okay.
And I see him right away. I was like, oh wow, like he's
who
good
he,
looking.
yeah, he's
like
who he says
he's
he
really
is.
like he has a really kind face, and like he's very
Aw.
nice. And he waited so long that like our date was only like 15 minutes of talking to each other because he had to go to a meeting after because he's like a businessman.
Yeah.
And it was like a 3-course meal that we had there, and he hadn't even gotten his food yet, but he had to go. And so we talked for 15 minutes. He was super sweet, very kind, very brilliant. And I was like, oh, wow, like he's really cool. Like,
You're like, this is refreshing.
it is refreshing. Like he seems very mature for his age.
Yeah.
Like we're the same age. And like it was awesome. But he had to go after like 15 minutes, and he was like, I'm so sorry, like I have to go, but like enjoy everything. He gave me $500 in cash just for like meeting for 15 minutes.
Good
And, like,
Lord.
His food showed up, and I had 2 3-course meals with like bottomless mimosas.
Just you. Because you gotta leave.
And I was like living my best life. And I was like, I could totally do this.
You're
more.
like, I
This
could do
is
this
awesome.
more than once.
Yeah. And then I was just like, well, he's probably never going to call me again.
Yeah.
Like, that was really rude of me. I showed up 45 minutes late, and like I'm eating all his food, and he paid me $500.
You're like, what the hell?
I was like, he's never going to call me again, but like, it is what it is. I'm still living my best life. And then he literally calls me the next day. And he's like, hey, like, I know our date was short. I hope you felt more comfortable now that you've met me, but I'd love to see you again.
See, I love that he made sure to say, like, I hope you, like, I'm glad, like, you feel comfortable. I hope you felt comfortable. Like, that's important. It's like he was worried
Yes.
about that and wanted you to feel good.
Yeah.
And it didn't freaking matter that you were 45 minutes late. I bet all of this after, like, experiencing Luke's shenanigans was just, like, a breath of fresh air.
Yes, exactly. And so
Also, you posted stories at the Four Seasons that you were, like, on a
I
date,
did, like,
right?
on brunch. I didn't
Yeah.
post him, but clearly, like, I tagged, like, Four Seasons Hotel. Like,
Yeah.
Luke saw it, and he was sketched out
Oh, I'm
because, like,
sure.
we just, like, ended things.
Especially because someone like Luke, it's like they want what they can't have. It's not because
It's, like, possessiveness.
yeah. So it's just like I didn't want you 3 days ago, but freaking now that I see that someone else does, it's like
yeah,
oh,
it's like, I'm going to get territorial
it's
now.
so toxic.
It's very toxic.
So Luke gets upset, and then you let him know that you went on a date with Ryan.
Yes.
How did-
but prior to that, like, when me and Ryan were messaging me, he's like, I'd love to see you again.
Oh
I was
yeah, yeah, yeah.
basically like, what's the catch here? Like, why are you on this site? Like,
Yeah.
you're really good looking, all this stuff. And
Actually,
he was like,
that's a valid point. I would want to know the same thing.
yeah. And he was like, honestly, there's not really a catch, but like, I do want to disclose to you that like I am a dom.
I was just gonna say, you guys, when she called me, I think you texted me. You texted me one day because, okay, fun little fact about Iris and myself. Can I say this?
Yes.
Okay, so we definitely have like the America's Sweetheart vibe, but we are both closet freaks.
Absolutely.
Okay.
Yes.
We like are very particular about like who we hook up with, and we don't like sleep around.
Yes.
But when we're all in with someone,
Like,
it's
just
anything
take me.
goes.
Take me.
Take me. Anything goes. Anything is game. So
Yes.
she texted me one day because she knows this about me, and she was like, "You're not gonna believe this. I met this guy. He's like has it all together. He's really wealthy, and he's like a Christian Grey and has a red room." And I was like, "Bitch, tell me more. I need details." I was like, "You're living my
Yes.
dream." I was
Literally.
blown away. I was like, as soon as you said Christian Grey, I was like, "Oh shit, girl! Like live your best life. I'm vicariously living through you."
Yeah.
So he's a
So,
dom.
he's a
so
dom.
that's the catch. So he at least he disclosed that to you pretty quickly, right?
Yes.
Which I love.
Mm-hmm.
Love it because we don't like secrets, and that's a pretty big deal. Like it's something that
Yeah.
you need to be aware
that
of.
maybe not a lot of girls are into.
Yeah,
or,
100%.
like, they
Some
wouldn't
girls
like
would be
that.
like, "What the hell?"
Yes.
But
And
me
we're
and
all
you-
about consent over here.
me and you were like, "Sign me up."
Yes.
Okay.
Exactly.
So you were like, "Hell yeah."
I was like, hell yeah, like that's pretty awesome.
That's pretty awesome.
And he's like an experienced dom, so like he
knows what he's
knows
doing.
what he's doing. It's not like I'm like the first person he's
Yeah.
just gonna do that with. Yeah. So
I'm so here for it.
yes. And so he tells me this, and I was like, oh my god, like this is like Christian Grey.
Yeah. You tell me the same thing.
Yes.
Like, bitch, live my dream.
Exactly. But then Luke sees all my stories at the Four Seasons having brunch.
Yeah,
and he's just
getting
like
all pissed.
He's like, who are you at the Four Seasons with? Like, he calls me. And like, we haven't really been talking at all. But he like calls me and he's like, oh my God, like, you're at a hotel with someone. Like, who is it? And I was like, we don't need to talk about this. Like, we're both moving on. You're going exploring. I'm going exploring. It is what it is. Like, we can only just like hope the best for each other.
Yeah.
And he's like, well, you can tell me if you hooked up with someone. He's like, have you? And like, you can disclose that because I already have. Like, I've already hooked up with other people.
Which is so weird that he like wants to tell you this. Like, I don't need to know that. Okay, so he's a little weirdo.
Oh, yeah.
And
he's
lets
like,
you know I've already slept with people.
Yeah.
So your reaction, which I'm going to be honest, this is another thing that we relate on. It's like, if you want to be an asshole and like be a little toxic, like, I'll be an asshole and be a little toxic. Because then you told him that you had also been with people.
I did.
When
and
you
I
haven't.
Yeah,
because you just wanted to fuck with him, which I fucking love
I was
that
so
shit.
mad and he hurt my feelings so hard.
Yeah.
That I was just like, well, you know what? I have two. And I was like,
because you wanted to mess with him, which I respect it. It's like, enough is enough. Like, you're gonna fuck with me, I'm gonna fuck with you.
yes. And he said like, I've slept with other people. I'm like, oh my God, multiple girls. But I was like, yeah, well, like, there's this new guy named Ryan and
and you tell him everything.
wealthy, he's a dom, and he has a sex dungeon. I'm like,
You're just like laying it on
literally
thick.
like stabbing him.
You're like, I am living my best life in a sex dungeon with this amazing guy at the Four Seasons.
Yes, and I'm like, I'm also like sleeping around. Like, it's great. Like,
you
all this stuff.
You stabbed him a bunch, which honestly he deserves it. We don't feel bad about this.
Yes,
I'm here for it.
And I was just like, yeah, like Ryan is like amazing, like he's really cool and he's like great and all this stuff, and like I was just making him feel bad about it. And so
a human reaction. Everybody's been there.
Yes.
Okay.
And then Luke was just like,
he wants to be back together, right? He's like, all of a sudden it's like, backtrack, let's be exclusive, we want to be back together.
Like, he was like super hurt, right?
And then wanted to get back.
And we were just being toxic back and forth. Like, he was like, oh yeah, like the girls here, like different, blah blah blah, and I was like, yo, that's gross. But I was just like, gross. I was like we kept it kind of going. And then hours later, like, we called each other and we were like, okay, like, Luke was like, I actually haven't slept with anyone. To this day, I still don't know if that's true.
I don't know.
But then I was like, honestly, I haven't either.
So you guys both were honest, or we think he may be
and like,
honest.
that's how toxic it got.
Yeah.
Like, it should never get to that point. It's just so bad.
It
turns
just
me into someone I don't want to be.
Yeah, it was snowballing out of control.
Yeah, and we were saying we'd like both slept with multiple people. Like,
yeah, you were just trying to hurt each other.
Yeah, like, it's so bad. But basically, he wants to get back together after
that.
But
he doesn't want to come home.
No.
So that's the thing. So he's like, I want to be exclusive again, but he doesn't want to come home.
Yeah, and he's like, I want to prove to you that, like, I'm fully monogamous, all this stuff. And I was just like, in my head, I was like, oh, I just want it to work so bad, like, after all of these years.
Yeah.
So I was like,
which, again, it's relatable when you've been in a long-term relationship. So it's like, a lot of people listening to this, they're going to relate to it, but also learn from us.
Yeah.
Because it never ends well.
It does not end well.
So he wants to prove to you. So you're going to go visit Thailand.
Yes.
And did he fly you out? He paid for your ticket? Or did you fly yourself out?
He paid for the first ticket.
Okay. So he did fly you out. So that's a little bit different.
And I flew myself back.
Okay, but we'll get into that because the shit gets crazy in Thailand. So he flies you out, so I guess snaps
and, like,
for him.
I like cut off contact with Ryan.
Yep.
I'm so sorry.
You told Ryan like you're gonna work on your engagement, right?
Yes.
Okay, so we were honest. I love that you always kept it. One thing I really respect about you and Ryan and how you guys met is like he was always honest with you and you were always honest with him. Mm-hmm. You know, like that. I like that a lot. So he flies you out. Luke flies you out to Thailand. He promises to take care of you and make things up to you. And
which also
the next note has me crying. Has a great time. Luke's still cheap though.
Yes. So okay, Thailand is very cheap. Right?
Very, very. Everyone knows that.
Yes.
It's like what the ticket is the most expensive part, right? And then once you get there, it's like crazy affordable.
I will admit he got better throughout the years, but like still cheap.
Okay.
Like Yeah, I don't even understand it.
Didn't he make you pay for like, he wouldn't let you order something that you told me about? You wanted to order this like $30 meal and he told you no.
And he ordered something that was $30. That's why I thought it could be okay.
But it should never have to be
It should never have to be.
It's just like, I'm going to order what I want to order.
And like, it sounds good. Like, I want to order it.
Plus it's like $30. It's like, that's like freaking Cheesecake Factory.
Yeah. Like, well, in Thailand, like, that's, like, expensive.
Like a 5-star meal. But I'm just saying, like, in America, it's like $30 at a restaurant. Like, that's, like, kind of normal.
Yes, exactly. And it's not like we were eating pretty, like, cheap every day.
Yeah.
It wasn't, like, extravagance all the time.
God.
But, like, we went to, like, this, like, resort day club place. And he got this, like, this meal that was $30. And I was like, oh, like, I kind of want to get, like, something, like, similar to that.
Yeah.
And then I was like, can I get this? And he was like, oh, he's like, that's a little pricey. And I was like, but it's like the same price as yours. Like,
yeah. You're like, what the hell?
Yeah. And so I was just like, no, like, this is not right.
Yeah.
I let it slide though. I got something cheaper.
Yeah.
Because like, I always try to compromise or like, at least just compromise my feelings.
Yeah. You're a saint.
And I got something cheaper. I was like, I don't want to argue about this. Like, I just want to like enjoy our time together. So I saw that red flag. Mm-hmm. And then literally, like, we're having an amazing time together. We're riding motorbikes. Like,
I saw all the stories. It looks like you guys were having an amazing time.
Yeah, like, it was so much fun. But then, like, 5 days before the trip ends, I find these messages.
Yes. So
he deleted them off his phone, though, because as soon as I flew in there, like, the second day, I checked his phone. I was like... You know, like the baggage in me is just so used to like,
you're like,
I need to check his phone and like see what he's hiding from me. Yeah. Yeah. So I checked his phone, didn't find anything. I was like, oh, maybe he's being good now.
They're always on the iPad.
Yes.
Always. So, ladies.
iPad or laptop.
iPad or laptop and WhatsApp. Okay.
Yes.
WhatsApp. If they're messaging bitches on WhatsApp.
Yeah.
They're cheating.
Period. Yeah.
Period. So you go on the laptop. And you see deleted messages off his phone, and he has been cheating on you after he said he wanted to be exclusive. Yes. He told you he wants to be exclusive. He flew you out, and he'd been cheating.
Fucked a random girl in Thailand.
Yeah.
Like, and like they talked about it, and I saw in one of the messages. This is what confirmed it for me. Like they were, like he was messaging multiple girls in Thailand.
And they were all very young,
all like from Bumble or something.
And
like,
they were 18 and older, but they were all very, very young girls, right?
I know that one girl said that she was like 19.
Okay. 19 and above.
And it was weird because he was like, how does it feel like with me being this much older than you? And he lied about his age.
Yeah.
He said he was 25 and he's literally 30.
Yeah.
Like,
okay.
That is gross.
Yeah. So there's all these girls in these messages.
Yes. Like random like girls in Thailand that he's messaging, and one girl like confirmed it for me. She's like, well, if I knew that you had a girlfriend or fiance, I wouldn't have slept with you.
Yeah. So it was like confirmed he definitely had sex with someone.
Yes. And then I looked like over the other messages above, and there was like messages where she was like, hey, do you have a phone charger? I guess like maybe he went down to like the lobby of his place to grab something, and he's like, oh yeah, it's next to my side of the bed. You can use it.
So she's like in his room.
Yeah. And I'm like, they have sides of the bed? Like,
yeah.
What?
You're like, what the hell?
Yes.
Yeah. No, that's crazy. I would have died.
I showed you. I took screenshots of all the messages.
Yep.
I even sent them to you, and I was like, look at this shit.
I've seen them, and they're pretty wild.
It's bad.
Yeah, it's bad, especially because he literally was the one that was like, I want to prove to you, I want to be exclusive, I'm flying out. It's like, why the fuck do all that when you're doing this and some Thailand chick has a side of the bed? It's just insane.
Exactly.
It makes literally no sense.
And like, I felt bad for her because she like didn't know clearly.
Yeah.
She was like, I wouldn't have done this if I knew you had a girlfriend or fiance.
Yeah. So this was the point where you were officially done and the light switch went off, right? Done. You were like, absolutely not done. Fuck off.
But like, the rest of we had like 5 days left, and I just like wanted it to like not be a shit show.
Yeah, because you were stuck there till your flight, right?
Yes, exactly. And so like,
you guys were like roommates the whole time, right?
Yes. Yeah. By this point, we're in twin beds.
Yeah. Get in your bunk bed.
Yes. So and I'm just like, hey, like when I broke up with him, I went down to like, so I kept the messages on his laptop open, and I closed the laptop.
So he knew that you saw it all.
Yeah, and I like didn't say anything that night. He was already sleeping. I went sound to sleep. And then early the next morning I woke up, I went to the pool, and I just like swam for like 1 or 2 hours.
Yeah.
Just like clear my head and be like, oh my gosh, I'm going to end it for good.
For good, for real.
Yeah. And then he like came downstairs. He called me. He's like, hey, where are you?
Because he obviously knew that you saw it all.
He opened his laptop.
Yeah.
That's what he does in the morning because he does business, right?
Yeah.
He saw all the messages that I had just seen.
Yeah.
And so he came down. He's like, hey. And I was like, hey. And he like sat at a pool chair. I sat at a pool chair and I was like, hey, I need to end things with you. Mm-hmm. And he's like, I'm so sorry. And I was like, I understand that. And I just want to move on at this point.
Yeah.
Like, I was like, I don't want things to be bad the rest of the trip. Like,
you handled it very maturely.
Yes.
Like, you were just like, we're done.
I didn't even cry about it.
Because
like,
you'd been through too much at that point. It's like, you can't, like, it's done. So,
yes.
And you made that very clear to him.
Exactly. And I was like, let's just enjoy the rest of the trip. Like, it's going to be fine. Just know that I'm very disappointed.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you guys finish out the trip and go your separate ways.
Yes. And right before I leave, like, he was crying every night.
Yeah. It was like, he was putting on the
panic attacks. Yeah.
Same.
And he's like, we could go to couples counseling, all this stuff. Like,
all the usual manipulative tactics.
Yeah. And like, kind of the rest of the trip, I acted like open to the idea possibly of like that, like, things could still be there just because I didn't want it to be a shit show the rest of the trip.
Yeah.
He was crying like every night.
Yeah. Which is, that's a lot to take on.
Yeah.
So you go home.
I go home.
And then you reach back out to Ryan and you guys start texting. Ryan is the dom that took her to brunch before season.
About.
Yeah. So you reach out to Ryan and you let him know I'm really done with my ex. We're not engaged anymore. And you guys are texting. You guys talk over text. You guys have phone calls.
Yes.
And then you invite him to a St. Patty's Day party. Yes. And you guys have an amazing time.
It was amazing. Like, we had so much fun. We just vibed the whole night. He was such a gentleman. He was very sweet.
It just like felt easy.
Yeah. And like, our conversations were so full of depth.
Yeah.
And I feel like we could really relate on a lot of things.
What I saw this like quote the other day, I even posted it on Instagram. It was like, when a relationship is right, it will feel simple, like just easy, like breathing.
Yes.
Like, that's how it should be. If it doesn't feel just like breathing, like second nature, it's not right.
Exactly. And it just felt so easy. Like,
that's how it should be.
Yeah. It was great.
So now you guys are vibing. And obviously, we've already touched, he's a dom. That is his lifestyle. And he wants to show you his sex.
I know.
The sex dungeon the next day. And you agree. What were your thoughts about this? Like, what were you excited? Were you nervous? Like, what was the vibe?
I was very nervous.
Yeah.
But I was also so excited. I was fascinated, too.
Oh, I'm sure.
I was like, how does this work? Like, I've heard like different things. Like, there's also like 50 Shades of Grey out there.
Right? Got to read that book again.
I know. I'm like, I got to watch the movie.
Right?
But yeah, I was very fascinated.
Yeah.
I didn't know what to expect. And like, I was honestly kind of scared. I was like, if I'm like handcuffed or
hanging
like,
from the ceiling
with like,
I'm dead.
Like, I can't get out. Like, what if something bad happens?
You have to have safe words.
Exactly. Or I'm like,
yeah.
Like, do I need life alert?
Oh my God.
What do I do?
There were a lot of questions.
Yes, but I agreed, and we had like
the best,
amazing time.
Well, okay, so you went from like Luke to this. Were you like mind blown? Like, oh,
mind blown.
Yeah, I would have been
absolutely
mind blown.
So yeah, it was like a 2-hour, 3-hour session.
Shut the fuck up.
And I was just like, oh my God, I've been like so vanilla. Like my whole life.
I'm fucking here for it.
It was great. Yeah.
We love it. So Iris is a fan.
Yes.
Of the sex dungeon.
Yes.
We're here for it. We support it.
Very much a fan.
Very much a fan. So you guys, I guess it just started working out.
He's a dom, and then I would be like what you call a sub.
Yeah,
like
submissive.
Yeah, exactly.
I love that because I feel like in regular everyday life, again, we can relate on this. We're kind of like alpha females and like we get shit done. But like when you're in a relationship, I like being submissive. You like being submissive. Like
Absolutely.
I want the man to run the show. Like tell me what to do.
Yes.
Call me a good girl. Like, you know, like that shit. Like I don't want to have to be the
daddy.
Yes. Iris. Woo! Say it again. Daddy. Fucking love it.
Yes.
Okay. So shit's going great.
Shit's going great. We're having a great time hanging out.
He treats you amazing.
He treats me amazing, but like I still wanted to allow myself to not just like run to the first guy that comes my way.
I literally was going to bring that up because I think I even said this to you when you called me the first time. I was like, I love everything that you're telling me and I'm so stoked for you. However, you were just engaged. You were with someone for like 6 years. Like, be careful. You don't know this person. Like, if it's too good to be true, it probably is. Like,
what comes up fast can also come down.
Exactly.
Fast.
Like, fast and furious in relationships is not always good. But you went on dates with other people, right? Like, you definitely explored a little bit, and the connection was not the same as it was with Ryan.
It was not the same. Yes.
So you did explore a little bit.
Yes. I hadn't slept with anyone else, but like, I was definitely like putting myself out there, going on like dinner dates, like, brunch dates, and like feeling it out. And I was like, no one else compares.
Yeah. And you guys have been traveling like crazy. So I'm on your close friends story. So everyone, I've been seeing all the crazy shit these two have been doing.
All my close friends, like they know.
Yeah, we've been holding this in forever.
Yes,
because you've been like traveling everywhere, showing that on your stories, but no one has known that it's with Ryan unless you're on the close friend story.
Yes.
So you guys have been traveling all over. You guys have gone to Japan, Vegas, Hawaii, Florida. You guys are living your best life. This is like true power couple vibes, by the way.
Thank you.
Like this is not, Luke was never power couple vibes. This is power couple vibes.
I appreciate that.
So you guys are traveling.
Yeah, like he invited me to Japan and I was like shocked.
Yeah.
I was like, oh my gosh, like already? This is
like
awesome.
Such a change.
I was like, absolutely, I want to go. And he took care of the whole entire trip. And I'm like so appreciative. I'm like so appreciative and grateful.
Yeah.
Because like I'm not used to that.
Yeah. You've been the one running the show. And now you can sit back and let someone take care of you, which has got to be like the best feeling.
Yeah. So like he's so sweet. Like he just always takes care of me, always makes sure that I'm good, asks if I need anything, like very attentive to me. And like it's just such a contrast to what I had with Luke.
Yeah. You deserve it, girl.
Yeah.
You deserve a happily ever after, like a real one, not a fake one on reality TV.
Mm-hmm.
So you tell your family about Ryan.
Yes.
And they like him.
They like
which
him a lot.
we love that.
Mm-hmm.
Ryan, so if you guys didn't know, I just moved to Florida for the summer. Yeah. I might do a bi-coastal situation, might be here forever because I freaking love it. Mm-hmm. But Ryan's family lives in Florida, so we're actually in Miami right now in a studio because Ryan brought you home to meet his family.
Yes.
So how did that go?
It went amazing. His family is absolutely awesome. Like, we vibed so well. They were very hospitable. They treated me like family. Like
family.
Yeah.
Oh, see, this is, again, when it's right, it's right. It's just right, it just feels good.
And we laughed so much together. Like, it just felt so comfortable.
I love it.
He always makes me feel comfortable, but like to bring me around his family, that really meant a lot to me.
Yeah, it's a big deal, and it's very scary and intimidating. So for him to like make you feel comfortable and them to like welcome you with open arms, I mean, it's got to be amazing, especially from your past relationship. It wasn't always like that. So
exactly,
you know, the family thing's a big deal. For me, family's big as well. So the fact that both of your families are like supportive of this, like hell yeah.
Yeah.
Love it. So Ryan asked you to be his girlfriend at his family house. So you are exclusive.
We are exclusive now.
You have a new boyfriend.
I do. And it feels so right this time.
I love it.
Like, it feels like such a mature and safe and loving relationship.
Yeah.
Also, I don't think I disclosed this to you, but 4 days ago, we said I love you to each other.
What?
Yeah.
Oh, I'm so stoked. You guys, by the way, Ryan's like sitting over here in the studio.
I know.
I just like looked over at him. You guys, that actually makes me so, that's a big deal, saying I love you. And it like felt right. You don't have jitters or bad butterflies. It's like all good, peaceful. Like,
exactly.
Girl, you deserve it.
Thank you.
I'm really happy for you. This is like
He said he realized it in Japan, actually.
Wow, and he waited probably till you were comfortable.
Yes.
Yeah, because you've been through a lot.
Mm-hmm.
See, that's every girl needs a guy like that that's just like in tune to you. You know what I mean? Like knows what you need, like knows what you need to feel comfortable. Yeah. Like he took it slow, like he waited till you were ready to, like, oh, I love it.
It was so cute.
So you guys love each other, you're exclusive. Mm-hmm. You're happier than ever.
Very happy.
And then you, my little entrepreneur, along that same line of America's sweetheart, who's actually a closet freak, you have a dope company idea.
Yes.
And Ryan is very successful, and you guys are a little power couple. He is going to fund this company.
Yes, so we're building it together.
You're building it together, which I love it.
CEO.
I fucking love it. Yes. So we're almost done with this episode. I want to finish off with, tell me about this company. It's called KinkStar, everyone.
Yeah, KinkStars.com.
KinkStars.com. We love it. Everybody has a kink.
Everyone does.
And I'm going to let you know right now, if you're like, oh my God, I don't have a kink, you're lying to yourself. You definitely have one. Everyone has one. So tell me about KinkStars.com. And this episode, by the way, is sponsored by KinkStars.com. So thank you to your new company. I'm so honored that you sponsored this first episode for me as a solo podcast host. It means the world.
Yes.
So let me know about KinkStars. Let everybody know about KinkStars.
So KinkStars is an adult entertainment website, and it is focused on creating a marketplace for creators to cater to like people's different kinks.
So, because
they'll be posting content that caters to that kink.
That's what I was just going to touch on. So obviously, right when you said that, it sounds very similar to OnlyFans, but the difference is this is specific for kink. So people can like go on and like, for example, I have a praise kink. Okay, like I love being called good girl. Like I'll get on my knees and worship you. So if I like have a praise kink, like I'll go on to KinkStars.com and like go to someone's profile that's like for like praise kinks or like stuff like that. Like you search your kink. Mm-hmm. Okay, perfect. So it's all about kinks. And when are we launching it? How does it work? Tell me more.
So we are planning on launching in a couple of weeks.
Woo!
Yeah. Like the website's looking real good. I'm so excited for it.
I can't wait to see it all.
Yeah, I'm super stoked for it. Like, I cannot wait to release this. It's like our little baby.
Yeah, you guys like built it together. What made you want to launch like a site like this? Like, what about it caught your interest?
Yeah, so like everyone has a kink, right? Mm-hmm. Like I realized that I have a kink for being a sub, right?
Yes.
And I always like initially when I started doing this, I felt like it was like kind of taboo. Like
100%.
I felt a little bit repressed about it. Like, do I share this with people? Like, are people gonna accept it? But like, I don't want anyone to ever feel that way.
Yeah.
Like, I want people to find like a community with other people where they all have different kinds of kinks and they can feel accepted no matter what it is.
And it's like a safe place.
It's a safe place full of people that are consenting and everything is legal. Like, that is all that matters. I just want everyone to feel accepted for whatever kink they have.
Yeah. And I'm freaking here for it, man, girl. Like, you're a girl boss. You're hot. You got great ideas. I think it's freaking amazing. And I think it's going to take off. I think 2023 is already your year. And it's going to continue being your year. I'm like finally at a place in my life where I just feel so content and happy. Yeah. And like all my friends see it. They all tell me that. They're like, wow, like Iris, you look so happy now. And I was like, dang, did I look miserable before? And then I watched the first 2 episodes from T.I. again, and I was like, I really did look miserable. That is a fact. Because you weren't living like your authentic, true life and self, and you weren't with the right person. And honestly, at the end of the day, on the whole note of like you wanting like KinkStars to be a safe place for people and like that it can be kind of taboo, like wanting to be a sub or dom or whatever. At the end of the day, like, that's what I tell everyone. Like, you have to stop caring what anybody thinks. At the end of the day, we're on a fucking rock spinning through the galaxy. Like, none of this shit matters. Do whatever the hell you want. Live your best life. If people are talking about you, you're doing something right. You're on the right track. If people aren't talking about you, that's when you need to be concerned. Exactly. You know? Go off. And I feel like this is such a great opportunity for people to like, for creators especially, to feel like they can just share their kinks with the world and like not feel it like bad about it. Yeah, and make a little money.
Exactly. And also, what's great about our platform is that we are not taking advantage of our creators at all. Like, they get to keep all of their money, all of their revenue, and we don't take anything from that.
So how do you guys make a profit?
So we are going to have memberships.
Oh, okay.
Yes.
Smart.
Mm-hmm.
I love it. You guys, entrepreneurs, freaking love it.
We're going to make money off the memberships. They get to keep all of their money.
I love that.
We just want to put an emphasis on that because, like, we would hate for anyone to feel taken advantage of.
Yeah. I love it. Is there anything else that you want to say before we end this wild episode?
I just want to say, like, anyone out there that resonates with this story, like, it is never too late to turn that bad situation around.
100%. This is the thing. It's like, I feel like both of us relate to this, and a lot of women and men out there relate to this as well. When you're in a long-term relationship with the wrong person, it's very natural to think like, oh, I can't end it now because I wasted so much time. Like, I've already invested so much time.
But then you see all these signs, like red flags of like narcissism, gaslighting, toxicity, someone being controlling. Like, you know, deep in your heart, it's not right for you.
Yeah.
And you shouldn't have to put up with that.
And it, like you just said, it's never too late to turn your life around. I feel like our society and generation, it's like there's a time limit on everything. It's like, no, dude, there's no time limit. It's like, if it doesn't feel right and you invested 7 years, 8 years, 9 years, 10 years, it's never too late. End it and start working on yourself and turn your shit around, because you're never going to get where you want to be if you keep investing into the wrong things and the wrong people.
Exactly.
So yeah, and now here we are. Killing it.
Yeah, exactly. Like, we're thriving.
Thriving.
Like, the glow is real.
Yeah, man. Glow up. We're here for it. Okay, you guys. So I think that's it for today. Yes. I hope you guys loved this episode. I wanted to say, first off, give me a shout out where we can follow you on your socials.
Yes. So on Instagram, my handle is Iris_Jardiel.
Love it.
You can follow me there. If you were a fan of this episode, don't be shy. You can always message me if it resonated with you.
Yeah.
I love to chat with anyone who supports me.
Yeah.
And I'm just so thankful for all the support I've gotten this so far.
Yeah. People love you.
It literally means the world to me.
Aw.
Yeah.
So those are her socials, you guys. I wanted to let you all know that all the It's Tempting merch orders have officially been shipped out. So everything is caught up from our little break. Well, my little break. So that's awesome. You can...
including this t-shirt, right?
Yes. It says mentally ill and cute.
It's so cute. Oh my gosh.
This is actually our best seller, I will say. Everybody buys this one in the black. Yeah. We have one in white as well.
It's so cute.
Thank you.
Yes.
So all the orders are caught up.
I need to cop one of those, actually.
Yeah, dude, I'll give you one. Hell yeah.
Thank you.
Mentally ill and cute. Woo!
So cute. Yes.
What else? You guys can listen to this episode on Apple Podcasts or Spotify. Please leave a 5-star review. Please leave a review. Follow me at Call Me KAC, or the podcast is It's Tempting Pod. And if you have any questions, concerns, it's temptingpod@gmail.com. I think that's it.
I think so. Thank you guys
for
listening.
Alrighty, you guys. Have a good day, and I'll see you next week. Bye.
Bye.